Hi everybody. Hi everybody. That time. I'm Kyoslilmonster. I'll have my commentary crew introduce themselves. We're gonna get started with some Final Fantasy XII TZA any percent. This is a run, let me tell you.
It is. I'm Alec K47.
I am Alfina.
Those of you who know me and know how much I love this game might wonder why I'm not mad about this. Why I'm not mad at this event. And that's because it's not just bad games. That's because it's not just bad games. Since this isn't obscure, it doesn't. And since this isn't that box either. Take that box either. But instead, it's very much this run itself, specifically this category on this version. And we'll get into that over the course of the run, believe me. But anyway, I think we're about ready to get going, so Kios.
Hold on a second, Alec.
I'm ready. Yeah, apparently there's echoes somewhere. Hold on. I'm just gonna throw my controller on the ground.
I see a fixed.
Yeah, I see two fixed. And thank you for the luck, everybody. It may have been me. I may have my speakers up too much. I don't know. We good?
I confirm fixed.
Okay, cool. So this is Nier Automata, any percent, spaghetti percent. Yep, it's actually 4X, as we call it, the meme bow, sight and grat. This is going to be a wild ride. It might be boring at some points, but let's have fun. Early settings, always run camera invert, speed times 4, and subtitles on. And anyone want to count down, and we'll just go.
I'd say you give the countdown.
All right, and 3, 2, 1, go. Cool, so this game has a lot of cutscenes. I think it's like about 6 hours of cutscenes, if not more.
It's about that.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have an exact comparison that any of us did, but when Freddy first did a cutscene percent run, it ended up being about 13 hours when the record was around 6.5.
I think maybe Rooster or Harvey did one too.
Yeah, a bit of that was just because it wasn't the best run, but I mean, it's in that vicinity. So you can see him running around really fast. That is one of the reasons that this run made it into the
the movement here. Is jank, and the once we get paired up with the correct weapons, it's basically how much damage can you do in one sitting. So it'll be pretty quick.
And shoutouts to how impossible it is to run exactly straight in this game.
Yeah, it's even in the PS2 version, it's actually a skill that really takes practice.
And the more you see like movement and you're like, that looks so clean, you should appreciate that it is also a lot of skill.
Yeah, those menu settings are obviously for making sure that the menu is going to go the way you want. He's using Thunder at first because it deals a little bit more damage. There used to be a strat where you would have to attack, but the effect capacity of how many animations can go on at any given time is either completely eliminated or greatly increased.
Yeah, I think it's like 24 now. You can clog it with like triple R door, which would put it at 24. So it's got to be somewhere around there.
Yeah, and that's huge because that is literally triple the amount of spell capacity, which is the mechanic, which, because it's mostly irrelevant to this version, I'm not going to really get into, that you had in the vanilla version. And that's just because of hardware limitations, and the PS2 has nothing on the PS4 or
where we go?
PC.
I mean, they designed an amazing game for the PS2, and there's a lot of credit for what they did with Final Fantasy XII, but when they actually had the chance to put IGs out and actually remaster even for this one and really use hardware to its advantage and put it out, it's so much better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anyone is questioning, oh well, this game isn't bad, I'm going to agree with you. And if anyone is familiar with probably the angriest French person on the face of the planet, Dreambaum, he actually wrote a very interesting article that I stayed up last night to read. It was a very nice and critical essay about how Vaughn is actually a very important character to this game, as well as like the whole concept of instead of just going for the very traditional like revenge is the plot kind of a thing, it really showcases the emotional maturity and kind of like this is not like what we would consider a typical Final Fantasy story. You know, Vaughn's story could have ended in Nalbina, but you know it's very interesting. You know, and I always recommend people give this game a chance. I think this is actually a very easy speedrun too. Not like it's easy to be perfect at, but it's very easy to learn.
Yeah, this specific one on the PS4 at least, there's been a lot less work on the PC version because memory manipulation requires RAM watch basically, and that is not cool. Being able to just like read your RNG live as you go through the run, so that's disallowed.
Once you do that, you open up Pandora's box of what else you could do in the background, you know.
Yeah, it's very much this category specifically that is why this run is in, and there's quite a bit that goes into it really becoming as busted and silly as it is, but the basic gist of it is not only are you running around like this at times for speed, but eventually you're just going to be running around with these invisible bows making motions at enemies and they're just going to explode, and that's how you play the game.
Yeah, it's a very broken category because of what we do, but it's also, in my opinion, like especially because I'm not a runner of Final Fantasy 12 at the moment. I'm probably gonna start running it after all the work that I did, learning everything to commentate it. But when you really look into all the work that went into everyone that routed this and everything that we do to manipulate things here and there, it's extremely technical, and at the same time it's such a bad category.
Yeah, like this game, the vanilla version on PS2 is
skillful. Long, it is masterful. It is the hardest run. I know two games that are very hard to speedrun: Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and this vanilla. I haven't done a lot of runs of either of them, partly because of how hard they are and how dispiriting it can be. But this, on the other hand, is pretty much an easy run. It's mostly learning the movement and then just having some basic notes that you can follow. Yeah, I mean, my notes are literally just a stack of numbers. That's it.
I mean, I found some more detailed notes than I can already tell you that.
Yeah, I believe it was Zero Scar made fairly detailed any percent notes, or it may have been Ninny's, or a combination of the both.
Because there's a couple of parts in here that I've got highlighted because to help me remember.
Yeah, because I do the RNG manipulation, like what we would call the old way.
I don't have whose notes these are, but I don't think it's Zero's because they quote Zero for the RNG manipulation.
I think it's Zaphiroth who made them.
Did Zaph make it? Yeah, he's rival Zaph now. Yeah. What up, High Spirits, Sly, Vinny, Bowd, thank you guys for showing up. GB, Ame, the Nier Automata clan. We don't even talk about Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings. If you say it out loud 3 times, Fat Man shows up and unplugs your computer. 10-2, to be fair, is a very good game. It just has a terrible story. Yo, Harvey, thank you for the luck.
I was gonna say, after watching the Fiesta last year, I think background guy might also
he'll kick in my door. He'll just come in and kick in my door. Like, why are you playing this game?
Very grumpy.
Yeah, shoutouts to Blue Harvey, who is another Final Fantasy 12 runner and has run this category.
Yep.
Specifically, among others.
Yeah, him and Zero Star did a amazing run of the the no sight and grat category at I guess that was Summer ESA with really good commentary as well, and they also had background dancers.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was the best $20 I've ever spent in my life.
There are a couple ways you can go about that, but honestly, I'll get into that once we get the sight grat, and I can talk more about
what the other options are. There are like 3 or 4 routes you can use. But I guess should we talk about the story or like?
Yeah, I was about to get into that. Basic idea.
I mean, look, we've got a total of 3 hours to get through all the technical shit and the whole story. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear anything. Okay. Anyway, but we can at least start because I'm gonna have to do a little bit of running around. At least like, do we want to like update to at least where we are within the story wise?
So yeah, it starts off with 2 years before this. The Empire declares war and crushes and subjugates Rabanastre and a couple other places. And Von is from Rabanastre. His brother got killed in the battle where the Empire kind of betrayed the Dalmascans. They were supposed to be meeting for a peace treaty. And instead they're just like, all right, kill the king and we're just going to take all that stuff. Only 45.
Yep, no 2 crystals. Well, yeah. Still, I could. It's just like a 1% chance.
Yeah, so these can give you anywhere from 25 to like 55% charge. So we could have a 2, 3, or 4 crystal. I was going to say 1 or 2 more from there. Most likely 2. Well, technically a 4 crystal is still possible. With really
not at this point, thankfully.
No. So it is by far the most likely result to get 3 crystals like you do here. The next most likely is 2 crystals, and then 4 crystal, fortunately, is the least often, though you would not know that based on the outcomes and what races we've had.
Yeah. 4 crystal, there was a 4 crystal sub 6 world record before.
I still don't believe.
It happened. It's Roosta. I will say, someone asked why we were killing a tomato. I think Alfina mentioned it, but Miguelo, who is the guy that we first met once we got into Rabanastre, is basically, like, there's no jobs, there's no real work to do in Rabanastre, and Vaughn is very poor and, you know, is basically by himself now. And Miguelo basically pays, like, the local waifs to, you know, just do odd jobs for him, because he has a little bit of disposable income and, you know, doesn't want to see these kids, you know, end up in, you know, Nalvana dungeon. So he basically pays us to go take it out. Well, Tomaj does, but Tomaj is what introduces you to the hunt board, which is a very important part of the OOA plat percent category. I also bought my first item here, which is Dark. It's going to be very important for like the next 15 minutes, and we will never use it again.
Because those of you who don't know, with Final Fantasy XII, in order to get skills, to get magic, to actual spells, you have to actually go and purchase them from a vendor.
Yep. Or some of them in this game are in a chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a few in chests, but you actually have to like get an item that is that spell or that skill. So at certain points in the run, we have to make sure that we do stop by specific vendors to buy the spells that we need to use.
Relying on gambits will get you killed, in all honesty. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna YOLO this because it's my best option.
Yeah, it's one thing that's made me fortunate in the second here is that the game gives you auto saves.
Yeah, I just have to hope for a high roll here. Just enough.
He needs to get his his health so that he's under 10. He's at 10% or under in order to spawn a rare monster here. Not having Pinello in the party means that his experience is not going to be divided, and it's all going to go to Vaughn. So now this enemy that is very powerful and would just destroy him completely spawns, and he's able to kill it with the Phoenix down because it's undead and not immune to instant death.
Yep.
So he gets a ton of experience. Like you saw him just kill one and got to level 5, kills another, gets to level 7. He's going to use the 3 Phoenix downs that he got from Pinello in the Giza Plains in order to basically hit level 8, and then he's going to return to Rabanastre.
It's less than a 1% chance and a 1% chance. It's a 1 in 10,000 chance for the chest to spawn and a 1 in 10,000 chance to pull it from the chest with Diamond Armlet equipped.
No, it's 1% and 1%.
Is it only 1%?
Yeah, 1 in 10,000 over.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do math. My apologies. I'm the idiot. Yeah, I would love to do Dusty on 4 times speed, but you just can't get the inputs in. No. It's just not human possible.
And it's also worth noting that that's technically a glitch that makes Dusty respawn.
Yeah, you're only supposed to get one.
The area. Yeah, he's leaving the area too quickly for the game to completely remove it from. Like, you get the experience of the LP, and then you have a little time to get the drop as well. But as long as you leave the area before the game updates everything, then it'll keep spawning.
It's not very easy because we have to spawn it from a place where you actually can't manipulate the RNG. It has to be actually manipulated previously, and then we load in at a certain point, and it advances the RNG just enough.
We'll get to that when he
yeah, because you'll have like 3 or 4 minutes to do that. So
we're getting there. Just a little ways left to go.
The run is bad.
Yeah, we definitely think there's many of us in here that love the game, but it's this run. This is the run that is bad.
That's very interesting. I have to take care of something on the side here really quick, but it should only take me a few seconds. It's all right. I can get it at the next departure. I learned that I do have to literally turn off all of my alerts now for some reason, even though it's never really been an issue. That's okay. I already have the Streamlabs page pulled up, and I can handle that in just a second. Alert box. Keep it straight line. No razor fin. Sorry, boys. This is not a plat % run. All right. I have some dialogue to mash here. Alrighty. Alert is disabled, and we are solid. Back in the saddle, kids. Oh, you. I mean, there's so many names in chat I haven't seen in a hot minute. I hope you guys enjoy this.
We've now gone through the whole waterway. We're now in the palace.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, there's a little mini game here that he's going to be doing.
That is my second favorite mini game in this game.
It's the game is really about peripheral vision. It really is.
So let's see, how many bucket heads do you think we're gonna get?
My luck, I'll get 1. Are we counting the one that we get here or no?
Well, this one isn't guaranteed, so.
Hello. I remember when I used to run this, I would try and guess what I would get, and one time I got like all 5 of them correct, and then my run died to something stupid. I think I choked something in Barheim, and it was like I lost a minute because I ran out of MP. Yeah, to be honest, 4 times speed I think is a great quality of life improvement. Okay, I don't know why that's doing that, but we're just gonna have to live with that for now until I can dig into my computer and why it's acting such a darn fool. Hello.
So the run is cursed if you do not get any bucket heads.
I got 1 bucket head.
Yeah, there it is. A bucket head. If you get more than 1, so much the better. And if you the dream would be all 4, but I don't know if that's even possible.
I mean, because we all know that we're all speedrunners and we're superstitious, so...
Yeah.
Over here!
If you get all bucket heads, you're automatically guaranteed world record. It doesn't matter what your time is, it's the world record.
World record congormed.
Congormed.
Sorry, we have memes in our community.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, George, because, like, I've totally disabled them from that side, and, like... I'm still getting some trickle through. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, but it's not even on this source, which is really strange. Ironically, I never use a follow alert, but I just started to use one as a joke, and now it like won't turn off. This is being played on a PS4. All right, let me see what I can do here. Well, actually, I can't change it because right now, at least. Oh well, we'll figure it out.
Studio mode, and you should be able to.
Oh yeah, studio mode. I forgot that was a thing. Shout out to High Spirits for teaching me that.
I tried to teach you that, and you told me I was crazy.
Okay. All right, where is it? Oh my god, this is so tough. All right, I'll just wait
you
till
did it to yourself.
I reject your reality and substitute my own. Okay, properties. Shut down source when not visible. Nice. All right, so that should do it. Hopefully, someone remind me to turn that back on. Add that to the list.
I'm not going to.
I got this.
Yeah, Alfina is my official administrative assistant for this tonight. I'm going to, just because of how difficult this game is, I'm going to take a save here. I'm going to oversave this save, because whatever, it doesn't matter. There we go, just for proof of purchase.
Weird, that is in the same place.
Yeah, it's weird. I just, like, dude, sometimes I just really mess up. And, you know, I don't want to, like, you know, Palmer was like, yo, we can't, like, fall behind, bro. Like, I need you to really pull your weight. And I was like, no, dude, I got it. Like, totally, don't worry about it. Like,
Like,
cool.
I just don't want to stay up all night, all right?
Yeah, it's like, you know, dude, like, this is my only chance for some fame and accolade. You know, especially when I'm living under the shadow of Kerry Palmer and his impressive RuneScape addiction.
So, unfortunately, you can't skip this tutorial.
It stinks. But you like my Kerry Palmer impersonation? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. You guys got any coffee? I love coffee.
I quit. I'm done.
Alright, cool. Like, Alfina's done. Look, we're stuck here for like another 2.5 hours. Just gonna have to learn to live with it. Nah, okay. I have the utmost love and respect for Kerry Palmer. He's been a huge help with running and just a very, very solid friend. I'm always humbled and honored to spend time with him, especially helping him out. This is something he wanted to showcase, and I was all about it. I was like, yeah, dude, I know that I have this terrible speed run.
And on that positive note, it's about time for things to get really dark.
Yep. Hey, what is it, Twitch After Dark?
So, first, before he runs through, he is going to enter a mode called Trials mode. You might wonder, why are you doing that? Isn't this speedrun for the normal mode? Well, yeah, but there are things you can do in trial mode that are useful. Like, for example, one of the things you can do is steal a very rare weapon called the Karkata in the 3rd stage. You also have, over here, a 100% chance at an item called a diamond armlet.
Very important.
Which we need.
Yes. So, they're nice because they sell for a lot of gold, but more importantly, at least for this run, they have the ability to give you different and potentially much stronger items from chests. And if you think you see where this is going, you probably do.
Oops.
So now he's just killing some stuff for LP if he can.
I got Fran boogered up, so we'll figure this out. It's fine. Normally she's not the one to go down, but something funky happened there.
So the goal there was to get a little more LP. He wants to get dark on both Balthier and Fran as soon as he can. That's so that he can kill stuff along the way and get mostly the LP.
Right, because as we go throughout the run, we're going to be managing both XP and LP so that we can control what level we are, but also we need the LP to be able to unlock our armor, our abilities, our weapons, magic, anything we might want to do. We need to make sure we have the LP to unlock.
Hey, do you know what you don't need LP for? Or license? Sight and Grat.
Memes.
There's many reasons why it's a meme.
Yeah, you don't need a license to meme.
You don't need a license to meme, only your parent or guardian's permission.
I don't even know if you get parent or guardian permission, because, I mean...
You're not my supervisor.
I mean, Vaughn's parents are dead. So.
Yeah, they died from the plague.
We don't know anything about anybody else's. Well, we know about one
I am
dad.
annoyed I am 1 LP short with Vaughn. From making this a clean, perfect menu. Oh well. I'll just fix it afterwards.
One of the first things you're noticing he's doing is he's picking jobs. That's what's going to allow us to get into the board and actually spend that LP that we were just talking about, so he can get things like Dark.
Yeah, I'm one LP short. I'll just do it right after this, because it really won't matter.
Well, Thea and Fran are mostly used at the beginning of the run, so they just get Red Mage because Dark is very useful in this part of the game.
And it's right there.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reason that they're Red Mages. Vaughn is going to be used throughout the run, so he goes Ulan because Ulan has a lot of hit points boosts, as well as heavy armor and a couple other things that help him do damage.
Yeah, IZJS, it's roughly 2 times, but it's more of a frame rate uncapper realistically, because I believe Hoishin and Roosta did testing on it, and it was almost 2 times the speed, but it ended up being like roughly 55 to 56 FPS, so it wasn't true 2 times, but saying like, oh, you can speed it up 1.93 times. It's like, just call it 2, dude. Just call it 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my safety Phoenix down here. It's a little bit of a time loss, but just to be safe today.
That's fair. So we just picked up a party member called Amalia.
Yep, that's her name.
It's totally her name.
Yeah, I can't wait until we meet Lamont too. It's a silly name for a girl.
So, you notice how fast those scripted fights just got destroyed by 2 characters casting Dark. And that's pretty much going to carry him until he gets the beam bows that we've been talking about off and on.
Story.
Yeah, Dark is also we're lucky that we get access to it that early, because the only Dark does pretty much normal damage to everything except undead. It heals them, so you don't have to worry about resistances. And from what I recall, it's a fairly high base damage as well.
Also, this boss, I do not like this boss.
Yeah, that was a weird. He pulled way left as opposed to pulling center like he normally does.
Oh, second brush fire.
Yeah, in any other category, pretty much, or at least the original, that would be bad. Like very good. In this one, it's bad. Like you want no more than.
Brush fire loses us about 9 seconds, which I know doesn't sound like much, but.
In this category, it's
continuously get brush fires.
Yo, Al Cid's a homie. He looks great in sunglasses too. His future's so bright, he's got to wear shades. Anyone with the obscure reference? Wow. Come on, I'm trying to make this more obscure. No, nobody.
Look, you have enough obscure references in your brain. You can make this so obscure.
Yo, wait until I get bored and start making Limp Bizkit references. You're all in for a real treat.
Sure, a treat. That's
totally the right word.
Come on. The best riffs of all time, and perhaps the greatest MC of all time, in one musical ensemble.
No.
We are finally we got all our stuff taken from us. We got into a small fight. We just got our stuff back.
Have I told you guys my theory about how Pop-Tarts are ravioli yet?
You're just gonna bust out all of the memes. I hope you guys are ready for this.
Everyone was like, oh, why is this bad? Why is this obscure? I'm trying my best, okay? Look, even my movement's terrible.
Also, you know, we have a runner that's bad and obscure.
I am completely sober, Sharky. I have been for many, many years.
Well, you're not walking like it in game.
Yeah, it's really tough. Like, it's honestly tough, and it's one of those things, like, I've been de-rusting this for probably like a week or 2, and it's still wacky. Yeah, cereal's just soup. Especially if you use pasteurized milk, all right? Because that means it was hot at one point. Now it's just cold soup.
Picking up some gil there.
Is this a bit, or do I really have don't call me out on bad taste in music. That one's not gonna fly.
No.
All right, so one thing I do miss, as much as I love TZA, I really miss the really cool tech that we do here in vanilla. It involves immobilizing a character, casting Cure up here, and then party swapping So you basically stall one character right there, run down and grab the tube, and then immediately swap back to the character. You're just right in front of the switch, and it's just so smooth. You want to hear more about the ravioli and Pop-Tarts memes? All right, look up my RPG Limit Break run from 2018 and go about 48 minutes in.
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong. That's about where it's at.
Yep, I still check the comments for that and report all the people that can't control themselves.
So in this area, we're mostly trying to make sure we kill these,
Battery
I just lost the
mimics.
name of the enemy.
Battery mimics.
Battery mimics!
Hey, Iron Scraps,
drop...
good. Yeah, my money situation is a little low right now, too, just as a heads up, so I might deviate a little bit.
Yeah.
As you notice, as we're moving along, our charge bar is slowly going down. We don't want that to hit 0, because it would make everything suck. So we're killing the battery mimics, because doing so gives us more charge.
Yep.
We don't want to ignore them either, because they will feed on these items. So it's a feature of the wall, basically.
They feed on energy, I'm told.
And they're feeding on the cables, pulling all of that battery out. So we really, really don't want to just leave them alone.
They'll give it back if you ask nicely.
Yeah. Sticking them with the sword helps, too.
Yeah, casting dark on them. But we have to pay attention, because if I remember correctly, if we're moving slowly, don't skeletons spawn in here?
Skeletons and then eventually ghosts. And both of those are undead, which means they do not take damage from dark, which is not a good thing. This is also a very tight section. If you notice, your Fran has 1 MP left. So who I kill when is very, very calculated in order to keep the charge up. There's 1 skeleton, so it's a little slow. Am I supposed to level there? You know what? It doesn't even matter. It's fine.
You gave me 3 levels to pay attention to. They're not right now.
Yeah, I know they're not right now. It's just I don't roughly remember it, but I really, once I complained about being short on money, I've literally only had iron scrap drops, so that's good. Yeah, 4 times speed is like, I'll liken it to like the first time I actually got on my motorcycle and opened up full throttle, and you like lurch back and you feel like you're about to literally fall off. That's what it's like. It's like trying to steer a Formula 1 car while being stuck in a washing machine. You just kind of roughly aim sort of close to where you want to go and correct from there.
Yeah.
And sometimes the game is very finicky. Moving at 4 times speed, making like very small movements is very tough. If anyone's familiar with like half stepping or like stutter stepping in 9, or like moving on subpixels in FF7, it's kind of similar to that concept sometimes. Excuse me. So I'm just going to take out these last couple of battery mimics, and we're headed to the very big battery mimic. I'm going to try and do Shockstorm skip.
Okay.
Which, you know, is always worth doing. I just need to button up Vaughn's licenses really quick after I touch the save crystal.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that those battery mimics all give 2 LP, so it's extra worth killing them since, while the experience is nice, the big thing is that he's getting a lot of LP in that section.
And I think we forgot to mention that he's got a character currently in the party, Bosch.
Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dumbass.
He's looking a little rough. We met him at the very beginning, you know, when it was 2 years prior, and he looked a lot cleaner than he does now.
Thanks for the combo. Wow. Combo queen. Yeah. My gambits are set a little bit differently because I just wanted to make sure I didn't get myself into trouble. So we didn't skip Shockstorm, but we're going to be fine. Vaughn had 2 sets of combos there for really nice. Yeah, maybe if we can get Andor to cooperate, whenever we'll do it, I'll hold him up to the microphone. Maybe he'll meow.
I highly doubt he'll cooperate.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the wonderful runner of this has a cat that he decided to name Marquise Helene Andor.
The 4th.
And, he lies at times.
He makes, dude, every morning he'll get up and go, meow. Be like, what, dude, what? You know, like, start moving to the kitchen, like, what, are you out of food? And it's like completely full, but he can see the, like, around the sides, but he's one of those straight down eaters. So, like, he can see, like, the bottom of his bowl, but there's, like, this wall of food surrounding it. I'm like, dude, you still have food, and I just shake it, and he still gets mad at me. Like, no,
well,
I need more.
Food.
Yeah. He's also incredibly smug. He's probably the most smug cat I've ever met. And of course, I would be the one to own it.
He does love his bottle caps.
He does. He will play fetch with bottle caps. All right, I got to talk to this merchant. I have a very, very important thing to buy from him. Well, two things. Yep.
So,
we gotta buy onion arrows.
Yeah. One thing that the beam bow does not do is let you shoot without arrows. You actually need arrows in order to equip.
But don't worry, you won't see them.
Yeah, there is one place in the game where you can see them. It's out in Cerobi Steppes, right?
Cerobi Steppe. There is just, if you have at least one Seitengrad equipped, I think it has to be on an active party member, but
active party member, and yeah.
And it's just there. It's floating in midair.
It'll
ask me why.
It changes color too based on if you have any elemental arrows equipped. Which is also like something weird. I think it's one of those things like we'll put it in here for people that figured it out. Yeah, onion's probably not the best material to make arrows out of, but like, you know,
they get the job done.
Sometimes it really do be that way. We're gonna talk to my favorite inappropriately named character in any video game of all time. His name is Balzac. I'm gonna take the opportunity to say it because that's his name, and I can get away with saying it. But he's a very important character. They've been hiding B.O.S.S. And if again, we'll go back to Dreambomb's article. That's right there is one of the points where, you know, Vaughn has a moment of maturity and clarity, and you know, realizes that he has to, you know, grow up and mature and can't live his life bent on revenge.
For those of you interested in this article, if you follow Kyo on Twitter, I believe he retweeted it, because I think that's where I found it.
Yeah. I retweeted it fairly late last night, and I'm an active social media user. I'm going to talk to Homage here just for safety because he gives me extra teleport stones. Yeah, I lose 10 or 15 seconds, but I need them. He at least gives me enough to get to where I can buy them in a worst case scenario opportunity. So I risk it. Yeah, thank you, Volshok. Yep, this is the Seitengrad run. I can talk. It's not my first day. We're gonna take the Moogling over to the Aerodrome. It's very similar to the Terror Dome, but a little bit windier.
So you might wonder, why is he
welcome to the Aerodrome
on a flight now? Well, one, the story requires it, but he's not going to take that flight yet.
Yeah, instead, I gotta go to Nalbina.
He has to go specifically on this flight between Rabanastre and Nalbina, because there is a 1% chance that there will be a specific invisible chest on the outside deck. And there's, with Vaughn equipped with a diamond armlet, a 1% chance that that chest, when opened, will include a bow called a Seitengrad. That is the meme bow. It is invisible, you don't need a license to equip it. Its attack stat is through the roof. It gives you a very high evasion chance when you have it equipped. It does all sorts of things. It has long range, very, very fast
attack
ATB charge. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so it pulls its damage off of strength and speed. So
so now he's
he closes out the game on purpose.
Straight up closing it, because if you just suspend it, then that will not reset the RNG string. The way the RNG is seated in this game is actually consistent. So if you boot up the game and then open up a chest, unless there's something in the area that will change the RNG's position, it will give you the same result every time. Now, there are some things that happen, NPCs moving around on the deck, that change it. So what he's going to do here is he's going to go for a certain cure values to find out where he is in the RNGC after attacking himself a few times.
We seeded in a little behind, we'll be okay.
Because each cure advances the RNG string 1 number. Each attack, like he did it there, is 10.
When you're learning how to manipulate the RNG, we've got charts and things that you can help.
Yeah, there's the chart, and then there's the RNG helper, which also is absolutely pivotal to the OOA and plat percent runs, because we can manipulate pretty much everything except Subterra and something. There's another area where we can't do it because the RNG just is not stable.
Right. And for Kyo, he's been running this game so long that
let me just double check real
He
quick.
knows
okay, good.
roughly what he's looking for.
Yep, Harvey posted the 5 numbers. That's always what you need for. Once you see the 112, you can close. There's 1, and then we do it again.
Yeah, hey look, the Seitengrad. So he was paying attention to that kid's movement, and when the kid is in a specific point in his run cycle, he knows that the RNG is on the correct number for him to get the Seitengrad.
Shoutouts to PPMA all day.
So now he's going to close the game again and repeat the process to get a second one. He doesn't need a third one because the amount of time it takes doesn't really save that much time, even in, like, because the third character is mostly going to be healing and doing things like that.
I've thought about it. The evade would be nice, but it's really not worth it because it takes roughly, I think the fastest I've done this is like just over 2 minutes to get everything set up. So it's not like I don't think you're saving 2 minutes on reviving Ash.
No. And honestly, the biggest plus to getting it wouldn't be so much the damage that she'd deal with it, but the fact that she would block more attacks. But yeah, the Platinum run does get 3 of the meme bows because there's much more value in it for that run. It's a longer run to begin with, so it's proportionally much less, and it has much more opportunity to shine in that run.
Yeah, I wanted to work on the Switch because my one coworker got it, and I was like, yeah, just get to the Garamsith waterway, it'll be fine. Then I realized he spent 2 hours leveling. I was like, okay, well, I don't know the values off the top of my head now, so I can't really.
But we've got a program you can plug it all into.
Yeah, it's just not updated for Switch yet or PC because it's not going to work with PC. But yeah, the ability to manipulate what comes out of chests, and I think it's like, even if you're going to play the game casually, I'd say monkey around with the RNG helper. Like, it's really amazing the kind of control you have over the game at that point. And it's like, especially like if you're really worn out, like, dude, I'm going for this chest. It's like a 10% chance to spawn, and the thing I want is a 10% chance. Like, put in your time, and if you get bored, just try it out, and you'll be like, wow, okay, this is actually really cool. Like, the first time I did it, like, you know, the whole concept of being able to control RNG in a game, especially as wacky as this one, was like, made me feel amazing. Like, it was like, wow, I finally get it. Try it out.
For the Ring of Renewal.
Yep. Ring of Renewal.
I would also say that, you know, and if you do have questions, every Final Fantasy 12 runner that I've talked to, even if you're trying to do something casually, has been super great.
Yeah,
so if you're like,
we're
hey,
easy to get
I'm trying to use
with.
the RNG helper to find this particular item, they're usually willing to help you try to get it.
If you're going to ask Solomon, though, you have to say happy birthday, Solomon, first, and then make your request.
Like I said, this community has its needs.
I'm just upset he didn't get any of his cake, okay? I still feel for my mans.
Wow.
Wow. That cake was really good, though, for those that were at RPG Limit Break 2015. Dude, gluten-free, dairy-free, chocolate cake with raspberry, or 2016. Yeah, 2016. Ah, that cake was so good. So anyway, we're in a floating city now that has a mine in it. I still haven't really figured out how this works, but I just play along with the story because it's really cool. Also, the concept of like them setting up, like, kicking people off of the mines, which is weird. There is a point in the story, if you're doing plat percent, where someone does drop a key off of Bajerba, and it ends up in the Fawn Coast. That's where the wind currents take it.
And another person drops themselves off, and they live.
Yep.
He just loses his memory.
Yeah,
I really
I remember that.
In this game, if you play through it, just there's a certain amount of just suspension of disbelief, because otherwise you're not gonna like yourself.
Yeah.
It's a Final Fantasy game. Fantasy is in the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just I think it was just a bit ahead of its time and a bit unique for like the rest of the series. The storyline and the drama and the tension and the build up is all different. And it I think in no way does it really force you to like, okay, hurry up, get in the story. Like people are like, oh, Final Fantasy Hallway Simulator. This one is like, here you go, here's the world, have fun. You're like, okay.
And
I mean,
the
you
story
can definitely push the story, but you also very easily can go, you know what, I just want to go do this for a while.
Mm-hmm. And the story is a slow burn with political intrigue, and that's not for everyone. Maybe if you didn't like it, but then liked Game of Thrones early on.
If you like Tom Clancy books, this might be for you.
Also, yeah, we just got a party member in Lamont, and like we love to do when we can with guest members in our party, we killed them.
Yoink. I don't want him stealing my experience.
That's why.
Dude's a nerd.
Yeah, so your fourth character or in this case, third character, since he only has 2 people out, does reduce the amount of experience you gain, and he wants to get experience from these things he's killing. Additionally, unlike the vanilla PS2 version of the game, Lamont does not have infinite potions. Any potions the guests use in this version...
No good drops, oh well.
They are actually deducted from your inventory. However, they did give him cure spells as a way to kind of alleviate that.
Yeah.
And you can also control them and level them up, and there are other things that you can do in TZA and IZJS that you can't do in the vanilla version. So it's not...
Happy Begamnon farming.
Yeah, so, that was Begamnon. It's a really hard fight normally, but, well, when you have these incredibly powerful bows, yeah.
Yoted.
Yep.
Thank you for using the correct verb, or the correct conjugation of yeet. Yoked. Yo, where are my iron helms, though? This is... Oof. Alright, Bosch is 13. I'm gonna go a little bit high so I can skip some stuff later. This is just good, solid experience right now that I can just kind of take, and the drops generally aren't terrible. So I am looking to be right around 18 or less at Tiamat. I'm gonna try and run this pretty bare bones. Not pushing for PB, but I don't also want to lose 5 minutes making sure I have an extra level when I honestly don't super need it. So you'll see a lot of me not killing things from now on, and then starting to pick back up once we enter the Lusu, or not Lusu mines? The Henna mines.
Yeah,
Henna
this
mines.
is Lusu.
Yeah,
Henna mines
I had a moment there, dude.
So there's another mini game here. If you remember Vaughn being loud earlier, well, he's going to be loud again. This
is
Andor,
my
it's your
favorite
time,
mini
dude.
Game.
It's your time, Andor. You ready? He's not even here. He knew.
I love this so much. I made a sound effect from it.
Don't listen to Andor's lies.
Exactly.
Yo, you ready to not get the 2 shout like every time?
Yeah, it's possible to do this in 2 shouts. It's especially hard on ×4 movement, but it's also tricky even on the original.
Gonna yeet it in there. It's a 3
you got
shot.
it. Don't listen to Andor's lies. This, you got a bucket head, and don't listen to Andor's lies.
Yee. This should be good enough to get us there. Hey, no 99. No 99 blocks. Cool. And then the most random line of the game. You, boy, you will come with us. Like, I'm Captain Bear. Thanks for the Spange babe meme.
How many people though would look at Vaughn and go, "Yeah, that's totally Bosch von Rosenberg."
Can't you see the rippling abs? This is the HD version of the game. Well, I mean, either way, it's going to cause a ruckus.
You're not wrong. It's just kind of one of those moments where you're just like, "All right, kid."
Do you know who brings the ruckus? The Wu-Tang Clan. Yo, Lucky Choo Choo Weather Xeno Man's here. Oh, yeah. That's a party in here.
So, Lamont now ran off with Pinello, who was kidnapped earlier, which is why you're even in Bujerba, because Balthier and Fred are like, okay, yeah, we should help Vaughn get his friend back, since it's kind of sort of our fault that she was kidnapped, since they kidnapped her to try to get to Balthier. Begamon and his cronies did. So, they want to get Pinello back, and they also want to rescue
Kill
Amalia,
Vazia. That's exactly what we want to do.
Is not named Amalia, but is Princess Ash, who supposedly committed suicide at the beginning of the game after the events of the intro, where her husband Rassler died.
Shoutouts to Seth the Seth the obnoxious guy who Seth the censored guy whose dog is named Ashelia Benargan Dalmasca.
Right.
What have I done to my friends? Yo, that gold flashing chain at 4, by the way.
And the reflector mode.
Yeah, I grab it just in case anything weird happens at you know where.
Once again, we get Vossler in the party and we kill him because, again, that's my XP.
Yep. Also, I just don't like Vossler. Something feels off about him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying, but, like,
he's
I'm also
rude.
not saying.
I mean, he's also just rude from the exact moment you meet him, and you're just like, can I just shank you? Because, like, I remember playing through this game for the first time, and as soon as he started talking, I was like, can I shank him? I just want to... Alright.
And this is the judges' fight, and then we get to sit through this congratulations screen. So, congratulations! 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 Anyone get that meme? Anyone? Literally.
Why
thank you. There we go.
Pulling out the most
congratulations
obscure references you can.
Dude, wait. Give me another. We still got like 2 hours to go. This is like the tip. This is like the tip of the Titanic iceberg. Congratulations.
Meditated.
Yeah.
Well, please notice the awesome bows that they are holding that they used for this fight.
Oh, no doubt. I always forget what Sid's full name is. It's Sidolphus Bonansis.
Sidolphus Mead Bonanza.
Thank you. Oh, and here is a question for chat only because, hey, there's a trophy that shows this is a fresh file. For chat only, who knows who the main character of this game is?
Oh, that's just not fair.
If this is the tip of the iceberg, well, it doesn't matter because global warming's real and we melted all the icebergs.
It's kind of interesting to see that some
Yeah, let me check these answers as I run through
back
here.
and forth on this here.
I know one person. There are 2 people, 3 people that know this game. The main character is Balthier.
He tells you.
He tells you.
He's the leading man.
After all, I am the leading man. It seems you're in more of a supporting role.
There we go. There's the right answer. Titus. Titus is the answer.
Well, it is his story, to be fair. Yeah, it is. The fun thing is that all the characters are kind of very important to how the story assembles and you know how it relates. The only person that I often have trouble with figuring out why they're involved is Balthier, and I think it's kind of just like, well, he's along for the ride, dude. Like, he just wants to be a pirate and be rich, so why not?
Well, and at the end of the day, you also have to remember Balthier's actually got a heart, and he kind of, I think he sees some of himself in Vaughn, and he's like, I'm gonna help the damn kid.
You know, I think his vision would be very... Yeah, that was a boss.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was a boss.
That was a boss.
Yeah, that was a boss.
Welcome to most of the boss fights for the rest of the run. They're gonna be pretty good.
It's very easy to forget about the boss fights because...
Yeah.
If you blink, you missed it.
Especially fairly early. Alright, so next thing on... Yeah, stopping his dad, too. That's the very important one.
But it takes a little while to get to the point where his dad is a factor.
Yeah, and his dad in this speedrun and in the PS2 version is a bit of a thorn in the side for a lot of speedrunners. I was working on something last night for this that should hopefully make it a little bit safer. Hopefully, but don't quote me on it. I'm just here for the ride. I'm buying gold needles this time, Alfina.
Thank you. I was about to say something, actually. I'm just trying to make sure this cat doesn't jump and knock stuff over on my desk, because I'm a little over that.
Yeah, and Kira for healing, obviously, and then a few other things that are just in case he gets hit with a status effect that he doesn't want, he can cure.
Yeah, one of the benefits with Kira is because it's not only a mid-tier spell, but it's a AoE. So when we set up our gambits for Ash to cast Kira, she'll be able to actually heal the whole party with one cast, assuming that everybody's in a nice little group.
Yeah, or at least close. Yeah, there's so many cool races in this game. I love how diverse this game is, and people are like, oh, this game's so dark and brown and boring, and then you look at areas like this or Fawn Coast, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The draw distance is just exactly what it should be.
And you people are saying these things about Penelope, but did you know that she's tougher than she looks?
She is. She also runs like a rugby fullback.
You're not wrong.
Oh, our Vossler made it back. Well, I know what to do with him. Come here. I'll take time just to stop for you.
I have the perfect answer for him.
Yeah, I have the perfect answer.
There we go.
So these little boys here are very important to us. They are Urutaniensas. If you kill 100 of them, you can spawn the Urutan Exile, which is really cool, but not in this playthrough. Not tonight.
And
I have something more important.
What's extra important is that specifically the ones with katanas, and I believe possibly one other, High Golden Amulet. That doubles LP gain, so it's important.
I have a good bit of licensing to do because I condense all my licensing as long as I can, so you guys have pretty much the mic for the next minute and a half.
So those ones, specific Urutan Yensa, can drop teleport stones. Teleport stones are important because they mean you don't have to run from one place to the other. You can just go to a gate crystal and teleport.
Because if anybody has noticed, we've actually run across, we've at least run by them. Some of these save crystals are blue, and some of these save crystals are orange. The orange ones are the ones that we can teleport between.
I'm short 3 LP, so I know that I'm literally 2 kills behind my last practice run. Yazmat, what's that? Actually, I lie. I'm 37 MP behind, so not great. It's all right. We'll be fine. I have this under control.
Yeah. So some of the licensing that you're seeing him buy is actually the stuff that he needs to be able to cast specific spells, to equip certain pieces of gear, add health to people. Others we buy purely because they're in the path of least resistance. Because in order to unlock the other ones, you have to have one that's touching those squares. So we've routed it out to know that the path of least resistance, that he's not actually really looking at which ones he's buying because he knows in his mind the image that we're looking at.
Yeah, I mix it up sometimes depending on if I want to try any specific backup strats, but I think we should be pretty okay here. I just need to get a little extra LP on Bond, which means I'm a little bit behind licensing wise, but we should be okay.
You said you were 3 short?
It's 3 or 37, one of the two. It's fine, I'll figure it out. Basically, I'm just setting up a couple of things here that are pretty important. Guess who forgot to buy Echo Herbs this time? That's fine. We'll live with it. I can't
remind you to buy everything.
It's fine. I'm not even worried about it. Silence isn't an issue. I can buy it at the next time we go through.
The golden needles are much more important because they're going to cure petrify, and I have.
I can grab them from dice on the way in. It's just a stupid time loss. It's easily avoidable.
I've been here while Kyoslilmonster's time.
I believe they have them. before you even enter the Garuda fight, so that's not as bad.
Yeah, I can just get it from Dice because he sets up right outside. It's just something I should have bought. One thing I'm going to do, Alec mentioned grabbing these teleport stones. What I'm going to try and do is kill these Rutaniensas, but not pick up their drops until it gets to a really big, like, giant gold medallion-looking drop. If you want to, we have time if you want to explain how chain levels and drops work in this game. It's also very interesting.
All right, so there are 4 chain levels. There's the default level, which we call level 0. Then there's level 1, 2, and 3. Each level, you can tell which one you're at, both by the number on the chain counter and the appearance of the drops. So he just got a chain level. He hit level 2 on the chain there. The initial ones look kind of like a little coin purse or something. Then they get to the kind of turquoise-ish color, then a kind of gold color, and then they become a medallion after this. So the higher your chain level, the more likely you are to get drops in general. And that goes for all 4 levels of rarity. There's common, uncommon, rare, and very rare drops, each with decreasing likelihood of happening.
I even took a few extra kills just to make sure, and I'm getting stuffed.
Yeah, so there is a random factor to this, and there's also if you pick up drops, it reduces the chances of getting a chain level. The actual mechanics are a little bit complex. There's also flashing numbers, which mean that your next drop ignores any drops you've picked up since your last chain level, but essentially there's kind of a counter that happens, and picking up drops reduces that counter, and at a certain point you are more likely to get a chain level.
Wow. I'm literally almost at 50 and I've not gotten a single one yet that I've seen at least. Hey, this is why it's a bad speed run.
This is part of why it's a bad speedrun.
Oh, boy. That's rough. I'll take a look at Dice. Maybe I missed one. Hopefully I missed one. It also is going to catch us up on LP big time because I killed like an extra 15.
Yeah.
This is not a glitch. It's a built-in speed up in the game.
Nope. I have 27 Earth Stones. Oh, no. It looks like I'm running to Ariute, huh?
Yep. So he wants because he talked to Tamaj, he only needs 1, but he really wants that 1 extra.
Yeah, there's like nowhere else to get it either. The next place I can get them is I have to buy them in Balfenheim, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna have to run to Golmore basically.
Also, that's one of the few bosses that dies about as fast in any other run as in this one, because it's weak to dark, and you just reflect dark off your party, so you get a bunch of hits off it really fast, and it just dies in one run.
We're probably way behind now because I even took an extra minute kind of out of an extra minute to try and guarantee like, hey, I'll get to the right chain level, I'll get the drops that I need. You know, I should have known better. It's a marathon.
So his money situation is going to be a little bit better, but he has to do an extra thing here or do a run because he doesn't have that extra teleport stone.
I could clan haul, but that's a big time loss. But I mean, I don't think it's that bad of a time loss comparative to having to run from Ariute to Golmore probably. Plus, you know, we get the extra money out of it too, which isn't that bad.
So, essentially, killing that first demon wall is actually a backup strat.
We must be quick. Together
that
we
is
can bring
often
it down.
a main strat because of how those things go.
Yeah, you can be more reckless to do that.
There's a way to kill it. We have a really pretty reliable setup to kill it. As long as it doesn't do one specific move, you're good. But it gives you a lot of LP, so it's definitely worth it to kill it in this just for the LP. And then if he goes to the clan hall, from that he'll get a nugget of Electrum, which sells for like 3,500 gold.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna clan haul. Like, it's slow, but it prevents me messing up anything else in the run. And the extra money will be nice. So if I decide to try and make up some time by skipping some kills, we'll be all right. That's the wrong one.
I was about to say, aren't you supposed to go to the opposite side?
Yeah. I'm a little flustered. It's all good. We'll get it.
So you would have to get that in Platinum, because you do have to get all the spells in that, and he has run that, so maybe that's why he was confused.
Yeah, I literally, that's probably your answer. I will grab this, though. Iskamote is nice for later. I like to carry 2 of them, just in case.
So yeah, the other side has a spell called Dispel, which removes status effects, particularly buffs on certain bosses that we don't want them to have.
Yeah, mainly Sid and Vayne. Sid 2, and Vayne. I have a little strat that I was working on for Sid 2 that might be consistent. I should have tested it more, but it worked pretty nicely.
Yeah, it's honestly mostly the bow. And it's worth mentioning that you can also, like, we have non-sight and grad categories, and manipulation is either impossible or banned because of the methods required for it in the other versions of the Zodiac Age. So the PS4 is the only console that you can do this run on.
Because no one's really figured out the Switch yet either.
Yeah, if we figured out the Switch, then you could pretty much do the same run, but
they definitely made a few differences though in the Switch version that might also impact some stuff.
I'm probably already 5 minutes behind, Harvey. I've had terrible luck and I've made a few mistakes. But I think I put my goal as 305, which gives me like almost 15 or 20 minutes against my PB. So I'm hoping for like 350, 355. Yeah, we do Dusty because it makes Garum Scythe faster and the rest of the run faster.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say no to hitting level 8 that quickly.
Yeah.
So
hey, that was a boss.
Yeah, here's a boss. It's a summon. It's the only summon that you'll ever see summoned in this run, and that's only to open a door.
I'm going to grab the safety elixir here, too, just so I can make things smoother. In Pharos. Not have to worry about MP conservation, or if I forget to grab the channeling, or I'm short LP for the second channeling. Taking 3 to 5 seconds here could save me over 20-30 seconds later. Yeah, we use the summon exactly once in this game. That's all you need it.
Yeah.
Although, you say that, Volshock, watch the end of the Platinum run. One of them is a beast.
Yeah, Zeromus is a beast!
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you want to see a summon do, what, 323,000 damage? Someone was mentioning Yasmat, by the way. The fastest I've killed Yasmat in this with a party that was... it was literally, you go into the party with a setup of just Bosch and Vaughn, so it's just 2 characters. They were, I think, 76 and 75 respectively. I killed Yasmat, including setup, in 8 minutes and 59 seconds. That's 500 million, or what is it, 50 million HP in almost 9 minutes.
Yeah.
It's, like you mentioned, Seitengrat has +1 range. So what we do is we basically use a technique called, what is it? Is it break? That lowers defense?
It's, okay, so there are 4 debuff techniques. There's Wither, Shear, Addle, and the one that's important for this, which is Expose.
Expose, thank you.
Is the one that lowers your defense. Shear lowers your magic defense, and then Addle lowers magic attack. Wither lowers physical attack.
But yeah, we basically bring his defense down as low as possible. And then we use Domain Calvados. So basically we cast Bravery on ourselves and then Berserk with the Seitengrat with 2 sets of Herminas boots, which give you like I forget what status it prevents, but it also gives you like plus 30 or plus 50 speed. And Seitengrat does damage based off of speed plus strength. And so you're berserked, you have additional attack, and you also are pretty much maxed out on damage. And I would also steal 2 assassin's arrows from Tower, so we get plus 3 for that. All right, so this is gonna lose a minute or two. You know, I apologize, it's boring, but it at least gives me the 1 teleport stone that I need in case I forget about it later and then get myself into a bit of a jam.
Yeah, and there's also a glitch that you can use on any version to lock Yasmat into a move that never completes. And so
yeah, I don't even do that, because literally if you set up on the correct step, Yasmat doesn't recognize you and doesn't grab aggro. Yo, what up, Pete? Thank you for the raid, dude. Welcome in, everybody.
So that's just another reason that these Seitengrats are so absurd.
So I am good on money. Realistically, that extra bump was like an extra 5,000 gil. So I should be pretty okay through the rest of the run. I can skip around as I need. I will probably skip as much of the mine as I can because I'm very close to level 18 already. I might do the jelly room, and that might be it.
Yeah, the basic idea for levels is that it's more about efficiency than anything else. It's about killing the certain enemies in certain places to get the most benefit out of what you're killing, essentially. So there's always a certain point where enemies in each area become just not worth it. So you
also,
wait and kill enemies later instead.
Anyone thought 4 times movement speed was uncontrollable enough? Wait until I showcase this, which is 4 times speed Chocobo Turbo, which is terrifying.
Sorry, I kind of faded out there for a second. I actually
Everybody's super
my feed of the game crashed there for a moment.
It's okay. You didn't miss much. We had to talk to Mont Blanc. Also, I will say that the Moogles in FF12 are the cutest Moogles of all time. They are super cute. Yeah, this is a very good game, but the speedrun and like how we do the speedrun, shout outs to the Solomon Crystal, what up? How this run is ran is what makes it obscure.
It's kind of an absurd run just because of the Seitengrats, especially.
Seitengrat and 4 times speed up. It's just, you just literally run into things, kill them in 3 seconds, and move on. That's the entire run. Hey, I made a very handsome Prompto, I'll have you know.
I mean, and it's also getting Kios to remember to buy things at the right moment in time.
Yeah. Look, I'm here. I'll be honest, the actual bad part is me. Hello, I'm the runner. I'm bad at speedruns.
Harvey's calling you out. You gonna do that?
Explain the difference between PS2, why the PS2 run is good, and why the PS4 run is bad. The PS2 run is terrible because it's made me lose my mind to the point that I've thrown my shoe at a metal door and there's still a shoe print on it. It is a very, very, very unforgiving run. It does not care about your feelings. It does not care about how prepared you are. When we get to, there is a boss coming up, which is going to be awful. 27 Earth Stones. Do not sell the Jaya stick. There is a boss coming up in a little bit, and he actually has killed, I think he killed 4 or 5 of my runs in a row, because he has the ability to block literally anything. And you have to do a total of, you get what, 18 chances? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because it's 3 times 3, right? 9 rounds of Fyra.
Okay, so
Bergen can basically kill your run because he'll just block things arbitrarily, and then you die.
Because
Harvey makes typos every time. I've seen Harvey misspell his own name 17 times. It's a fun run, but it's so time consuming. It's very difficult, and the boss strategies in that game are unforgiving. Like if you make one mistake on your setup, you die. You are late turning a gambit on or off, you die. If you don't go in at the correct setup, you die. The other part that makes it not super difficult, but it's an additional kind of factor that weighs into the run. We use a different setup. Depending on who you ask, it's B.O.S.S, Ashe, Penelo. Sometimes you can swap Vaughn in. But we keep Ashe and Penelo in that game in critical HP the entire time. So not only is your tank barely capable of surviving 1, maybe 2 hits if you're lucky, depending on where you're at in the game, but if one of your girls goes down, in the middle of a fight, you have to revive them and then damage them back down to critical and then re-equip them. There was an interesting strategy involving Gaia hats, but only slow runners use that strat, but it's still a cool strat when you're learning. Famfrit, to me. Yeah, we'll get to Famfrit later. Hopefully what I've been working on is consistent and it wasn't just a lucky fluke. Otherwise, we might spend a few...
I'm leaning towards lucky fluke.
No, if it's consistent the way it should be, because Famfrit himself is rather a consistent being, it should be pretty open and shut. I just need the damage to be there. And yesterday it was at, I think I was level 31. Congormed. This is a bad speedrun, Congormed. But we're now in the village of the Ariute, or the Vieira village. I'm going to spend as little time possible here, so hopefully Quexel doesn't ban me forever. Because, you know, clothing is a questionable thing in this area of the game.
Also, I do want to mention this, since we did just kind of make fun of Harvey a little bit. Winnig was not him. Winnig was Rooster.
Yeah, shoutouts to Roostalol, aka Roosta, aka Senor Guapissimo. He is handsome. He's lucky. He's a very handsome gentleman. I think him and Hoysten are actually supposed to be somewhat close to me because the Overwatch finals. I gotta touch base with them. I'm going to do a little extra shopping here as well. Tetron has armor that I need. Yeah, my money is so good right now, fam. I'm not even gonna bother. I'll just sell stuff off at Fawn Coast when I get there.
I appreciate we've gone from bad money to good money.
Yeah, well, I did also just have to kind of eat a minute time loss to get it, but... how are we doing time-wise? Hopefully we're still, like, roughly where I think we are.
I don't even have the stream open because
yeah,
I had
that's all
to
good. Someone in chat, let me know how we're doing.
You are...
1:16:30.
1:16:30? Alright, yeah, I need to pick up the pace a good bit here.
A little bit more because I read it from the wrong window, but...
Yeah, it's fine. 1:16:30, dang. Ah, yeah, hey, I got unlucky. It is what it is, and you gotta live with it, and we'll make the best of it.
I mean, that's honestly that's a good part of Final Fantasy XII is this game, because you're relying on a lot of RNG. So like you guys were able to see, we were hoping for teleport stones that we didn't get, and little things along those lines. That there's a lot of, you sometimes take a little bit of a risk to get through something to try to get something faster, which for a marathon we'll play a little bit safer, which often causes us to be a little bit slower.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too far behind my PB, but like I said, I had to. I spent an extra minute to try and get the teleport stones early, thinking that would be a competent move, and I still didn't. So I had to take. I could have not gone to the clan hall and saved time and just kind of, you know, done the thing. But if I would have forgotten to buy teleport stones from Dice and then teleported out to Giravegan, I would have to run all the way back to somewhere where I could buy them, and that's a lot of time, guaranteed.
Even at times 4 speed.
Yeah, because there's so many loading screens. Can you heal me, please? Thank you. 16, good. I need 2 more levels on these boys. We might do Tiamat at 17, which means I'm definitely charging some time back to this.
So people did ask about a no Seitengrat run, and there are a couple versions of it. It's not as well developed as the PS2 any percent run by any means, but there are a couple ways you can go about it. There is a very powerful weapon that you can get from trials early on called the Karkata. So one of the routes is melee based and uses those. They have a very, very high chance to confuse things that are vulnerable to confuse when you get to that. Trivializes a few bosses, but it does struggle a bit in the late. I, as well as I believe Nikki Knoll, was the one who worked on the other magic route for this game. There's been some work on it.
Cool. I'm where I need to be.
It's one of those things where we need more people to do those runs and do the theory crafting to really get it where it could be, but the run does technically exist.
Cool. I got everybody to that. The reason I didn't kill Larsa there is an extra healer, and also I wanted to split the LP. It can be dangerous to run through there, and I did not want to over level because if I'm over leveling, I'm wasting time.
Also, shoutouts to RPG Dino in there. The Tyrannorox is a pain in literally every category but this.
Yep, and you saw he gave me the full pushback too. Oh, he snuck arrow off. That's fine. Yeah, so...
Looks like somebody died in that fight.
No, it got real close.
Okay.
Jellies was a bit of a mess, but it got me the experience that I needed. The thing is, I've routed the experience for what I need LP wise. So as long as everyone stays alive, you know, and gets all the LP they need, they'll be exactly where I need them. I'm gonna take care of that really quick as well because I need to get Vaughn. This is fine. This is. There we go. That's all I needed. And let's go. Yo, is that the man, Dolphin Chemist? My boy, what's up? Yeah, so at this point I'm just going to literally avoid everything, try and save as much time as I can, because we're running a little behind here. Vaughn needs a heal here. Take that real quick.
So yeah, there's another route you can take here, and with the meme bros, it's actually kind of possible, but it's unreliable because the Earth Tyrant boss has a chance to get off a move called Sporefall. It doesn't really, it likes to do it really early in the fight, and if that happens, it's just a real pain to deal with. So instead, we run through Fade in pretty much every category at this point, even the ones where you have to kill.
Yeah, that was just ad treant, dude.
I'm just watching like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's literally whatever.
Yeah.
The trees, they're watching you.
Hey, just don't get unlucky.
Well, that's a creepy thought.
Rule the speedrun. Don't get unlucky. I did. Got unlucky.
You've been unlucky for a bit of this run.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully we just breeze through the big challenges. Mainly looking at Sid 2 and Tyrant. Hopefully those just go very quickly and smoothly.
Can I just say I love watching them walk through the snowy areas, and they're very much desert garb.
Yeah.
It always amused me, and it just doesn't ever stop.
Same thing with Riku and Mount Gagazet.
Yes.
Girl, I know you cold. Don't lie.
Doesn't she have some dialogue to that effect that can play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
But here, you don't, and it's just kind of like... Aren't you all from the desert? Like, all of you?
Here's my favorite area in the game that I can't tell you what it is because I don't call it the right thing, and everyone calls it something different. What? Alright, that was a moment there. Anyway. Camera spun. There we go. Okay. But we are introduced to the Grand Kiltius, who Vaughn asks, is he dead? Yeah, I went back out for the level up. Now my camera got spun around, dude. Controlling this game at 4 times speed is a bit of a heavy nightmare. Ooh, that movement was fairly nice, though. That's a tricky little corridor.
Every time you watch his movement and you're like, that looks so clean and nice.
I've messed it up 37,000 times before to get it this good.
In watching him derust, I definitely probably made fun of some of his movement.
Oh yeah, wait until you try it, dude. It's a treat.
I have tried it.
It's a treat.
Yeah, it's legitimately hard.
Yes, Mount Burr Amaguchi.
Especially since the PS4 controller still does not have anything to kind of lock you into the cardinal directions in any way, shape, or form.
Shoutouts to Nier Automata for making me really value how to move in a straight line.
Yeah, this version of the game is out on PS4, Steam, and Switch now, so I would say if you want to give the game a chance or a second chance, this is the version you should use.
Oh yeah.
In general,
super easy.
It's user friendly. It's got a lot of nice features that help just make the game more interesting.
Yeah,
more
Switch
fun.
is nice because you can also respec in the Switch version, which is super nice.
It's actually making me think about picking it up one more time because, I mean, besides the fact that with the traveling that I've been doing lately, having stuff on the Switch is great for travel, but, like, I had so much anxiety picking classes.
What am I doing? I did the thing.
Because I couldn't respec.
Well, I already knew that I was going to do some routing work in the game, so I had the easy way, kind of the easy out of going, also a way to go the completely wrong way.
Yeah, dude, I'm having a moment, dude. I'm just having a moment. I'm just thinking about going fast. That's all it is.
I planned my jobs out because a lot of it was just like, how can I jump around the license board? What classes get what?
Oh no, my roommate laughed at me once I got to the point that I was ready to do that because I turned the game off and I opened up had all the license boards open. I had what stats everybody tends to have and things like that, and she was like, "You are the most Ravenclaw approach to what classes to make everybody," and I'm like, "Yeah."
I have spreadsheets.
I kind of did that, except for I had it all like printed out.
Perfect. Final
so
Fantasy XII is a rough speed run for PS2, and Final Fantasy 13. I think those are probably the two toughest Final Fantasy speed runs. Final Fantasy VII, the new step count's fairly easy to learn. It's just a question of being consistent.
I would say Final Fantasy 15 is one of the easiest steps.
Yeah, 13 is tough. Ask anyone who's run 13. It is a very, very difficult speed run. 9 is super easy. 9 is literally 50 to 60% mashing. Ask Muskie Toji Magus.
Then there's this run where it's like FF12 hard.
Yeah. I want to be 22 for Sid, so I can pretty much start skipping things again.
So he did have to equip the Dawn Shard to hit these 2 pedestals and have them function right.
It also works out perfectly. because once I have to put a new accessory on one of the boys, it'll their LP will be pretty much exactly where I need it.
I will mention briefly that since it was asked in chat why Final Fantasy 13 is hard, it's because
it's
a couple of things.
Freaking hard.
You're skipping so many of the fights because it's faster to not do the fights and just use technique and strategy on the bosses. So you skip a ton of fights, and it gets
rude.
Like it's really hard to do a lot of the skips well. That guy has return damage, by the way. So
yeah, that was very, very strange. Normally he goes down easy, but I didn't get a clean kill on it. Sadly, I got one of those almost killed, and then the game just kind of put me through it.
Yeah, so 13 is all about quickly and consistently avoiding fights, which can be very hard to do, and then getting the boss fights right, which is also not easy.
Yeah, so, a lot of ATB refresh, a lot of very tight timing between menuing and changing your abilities. So it is definitely not easy.
Yeah. Like,
Bullshark brought up a good point. It's also the positioning matters so much, and you can't even control.
If Snow wants to go run off somewhere, Snow's just gonna run off somewhere. And you're like, all right, thanks, bro. Really needed you here for that damage. You're gonna go. You're walking to the 7-Eleven now to get a Slurpee. Okay, thanks.
Hey, he needs that Slurpee.
Snow needs something. One of my favorite parts of the game is how many times Snow gets punched in the face.
So these statues can face any direction except the direction you need them to face. So
in typical Final Fantasy 12 fashion.
Yeah.
Of course.
If you have to rotate them twice, then we call that a statue troll, and it costs a bit of time. Fun fact about these, about turning the statues in speed up mode, whether it's ×2 or ×4, the animation plays as fast as the game speed is.
Trolled.
But the sound takes the same amount of time to play regardless. And it waits for the sound effect to finish before it lets you do anything else.
Yep,
because
just like this.
I did not know that.
So that's why he's kind of sitting there before, like for a while, as the sound effect finishes.
My levels are getting a little high. I'm going to try and push.
Thank you for that piece of information. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's really weird. At first I thought it was like, oh, that only happens on occasion, and it's like, oh wait, no, that definitely happens every time. Yeah, the 12 community still exists. I haven't run it in a hot minute, but you know, I always poke my head in and make sure everybody's doing all right.
Yeah,
my next moment he starts running it just like pops up.
My next project is the PC run, but we'll see when I get to that.
Yeah, my list of runs that I have to do is so freaking long, dude. Santa Claus is jealous of it.
So that Sage's Ring is TCA,
money.
An ICGS thing. It's money. It's also a good item if you want to play casually. You should probably keep it.
Yep, we rely on it heavily for Ultima in Trials mode.
Yeah, it makes you absorb the holy element.
And it also is 50% spell cost reduction, which is great for Ash because you don't get re-healed every floor. You start with whatever your MP is, and you gotta make it last.
Yeah, support writer. So the Seitengrat is manipulated for this run. That is a big reason why this run is in this event.
Yeah, it basically makes the game a joke, and it just comes down to how lucky are you and how good is your movement. Like right now, my luck has been terrible. I've died way too, like, not game over, but I have lost characters a couple of times. My LP was a little bit off. I killed 51 Urutaniensa and got not a single teleport stone. Like, it pretty much everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, and we're probably about 3 to 4 minutes behind where I really want to be here. Alright, hopefully this works. I'm 21, which should be okay. I want to do sit at 22, so I'm probably going to... Actually, I don't have to kill anything from here till then. Maybe like a spare couple of enemies here and a couple in Sochin, but we should be okay.
Yeah, you're pretty good.
Oh yeah, this is starting out great. Oh yep. Here it comes. Oh boy.
And your healer's asleep.
Yep, this is over.
Hi, Blizzaja.
Yep, that's
So reasons why we said this is a bad run.
Yeah, because that can happen. I'm gonna try and save it. I don't think I will, but
I don't know if you can.
I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Just gotta put on weight and then get Phoenix Downs out as quickly as possible.
No, not like that.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I do.
Oh, it's always funny when things go south in this game because
it happens enough.
It's also, honestly, it's more tense in not this category.
Yeah, and Vaughn's attacking the wrong thing. That's why. I got Gambit.
Okay.
What happened there was I got Gambit trolled. People that say, "Oh, you just put the Gambits on and you win," that is why. That is not true, because our Gambits are set for highest HP. Guess what? Mateus's HP was lower than all of the Ice Azers. When you attack Ice Azers, they give you return damage, and they get pissed.
So that crazy amount of damage you're dealing, part of that gets returned to you.
And it's a very large chunk. Yeah, just let the game play itself. What could possibly go wrong? This game's so easy. You just set the controller down. Yeah, good luck. I've watched Zero.
When I made my little
I've seen Zero die in an OOA run to Carrot because he trusted his Gambits. He looked away for a second and got stuck in a loop. And Zero's probably one of the most confident and knowledgeable Final Fantasy XII runners out there, and he lost a run because he relied on Gambits.
Okay, so Buffy, because you saying you don't understand how that fight just went, so basically...
Poorly is how it went. Extremely poorly.
Poorly is the answer, but because our healer got put to sleep, and we didn't kill things fast, we didn't kill the boss fast enough, the AoE attack went off, which caused the...
Party to wipe.
The party to basically wipe that we're using here. So we had to go to our backup party, which is all extremely underleveled, and try to use Phoenix Downs on the 3 party members that we're relying on to get through these fights. And you kind of have to hope that those Phoenix Downs go off before those party members get wiped.
Yeah, I got 2 of them up, but B.O.S.S didn't make it up in time, so he's going to be short a little bit of LP. It's not a huge deal, because I think I'm going to end up over-leveled slightly anyway. I'm going to grab this just in case. It's really a force of habit more than anything. Okay, good. I almost messed that up.
And it is one of those things, because we're doing everything at times 4 speed, the reaction time that Kyos has to those things happening is extremely minimal.
Yeah, we're talking like frames. A handful of frames is the range that I have.
So he's basically having to interpret everything about a second before it happens.
Yeah, I need to see I keep an eye on the top left and the bottom right at the same time. The top left is the status bar with most boss fights. It'll also tell you, like, it's kind of like if you ever played any MMORPG and there's like a text log, like enemy starts charging this, or, you know, it basically lets me know what's in the pipeline, what's coming. The bottom right is going to tell me my HP and what my actions are doing and what their time is like. I'm also going to keep a look. If you see there's a bunch of like red and blue lines going across, that's target lines. Those are very important to see because that lets you know who is attacking what and what's attacking who. I'm going to try and go for a quick kill here, and it looks like I may have pulled most of it. Nope, I got locked again.
When we say a second before it happened,
I just keep getting very unlucky damage. Like, that fight should have been over, but I did just a little bit too much, or just not enough damage to Bergen, that it decided that it wanted to target the grunts instead of him.
And Bergen is the fight that can block your magic spells. So
and he can block the bows. He does it. It's annoying.
Yeah, so there's also a technique that is used in every other category except this one, called Traveler. And that deals
Oh God, let's talk about Traveler.
Based on a 10,000 step count, basically. And so you go in there, like, you can manipulate, it's either since 0 and rolling over every 10,000, or since the last time you used it. So you can set your Traveler to, at a specific point, and then go in there and deal, assuming you get your steps right, 9,000 plus damage. Insert
Final Fantasy XII has a step count, and I think it's a lot harder than pretty much almost any other step count except maybe FF5. Some of them are kind of free, most of them are not.
Yeah. So
your movement
needs to be
perfect.
You're doing movement like this, step count.
And then there's the Mandragora's Traveler, which is just kind of a crapshoot no matter what you do.
You basically roll your dice and see what happens.
Yeah.
Do I get 5? Do I get 1? Do I get stalled for an hour? What happens? Find out on the next episode of Kyo Speedrun's Final Fantasy XII Vanilla.
Or
coming
do I
never.
Overstep and deal 0 damage?
Yeah, oh god. Does Balthier bump you? I've had that happen before. I've had, like, when in practice, I've had Balthier, like, bump me. This is actually okay.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, because even if you don't input yeah, I think so. I think it's possible. I might be lying, but I definitely think I may have overstepped beforehand, but I've also been bumped before and felt that things didn't go properly.
And yeah, you could get a couple other gambits, but in most cases, it's best to just not bother doing.
Yeah, pretty much. I might grab like one more gambit slot for Ash, and that's pretty much it.
No, I mean like the gambits themselves to make sure you target the right enemy.
I will swap that eventually, but I don't swap it until Cid because of the way that fight generally goes, and then I keep it there. But yeah, honestly, we lost probably about a minute to the past 2 boss fights because we literally just got unlucky. 90+% of the time, that gambit setup will work, and it's not a big deal. But guess what? My damage wasn't correct. I either got 1 too many crits or 1 not enough crit, and my damage value just added up to a very funky place where the main boss wasn't the highest HP target, and, you know, I deal with the consequences. It is what it is. You know, I've had it happen in runs, and, you know, I'm sure, you know, could you plan for it? Yeah, you could split the boys early, but the downside of that is if you set one of them to attack highest and one of them to attack lowest, well, you're only doing half the amount of damage that you could be doing to the boss at the start of the fight, and that's guaranteed to lose you more time. Especially with something like Mateus, you can't set it for Mateus because they're just going to attack the Ice Azers and take all the return damage and die. We don't pick up the Gambit. You can, but honestly, again, it's really not worth it because you have to go into Nalbina. There's 2 cutscenes. Then you have to buy it and then come back out.
And it's not necessary for this specific run.
Yeah, it's not really necessary for this run. Does it have the potential to save time? Yes, but is it the fastest? No, because it costs about a minute to get it. And if you're really on your... Like, I wasn't on my game for Mateus. It happens. I got caught not sleeping, but I got caught with my pants down. But at Geese, at Bergen, I figured it out. So... You know, it's one of those things, it happens very, very rarely. I'm also running this without Azuna, too, so I just said I've thrown all caution to the wind here. It's alright. I should still be underestimate. If not, I'm going to make one super strong charge to make sure that I can. Alright, there are no mods. It's time to do crab. Mods are gone. Crab. We can get that going.
Mod.
Shh. Let them think they're safe. Alright, so, yep, super cute Moogles. They're going to open the bridge, and I'm actually going to get a very, 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 very important item to the any % speedrun from the Moogle boss. There we go. Mods are gone.
We went around and we're like, yo, get back to work.
Yeah, dude, they were all sleepy, though. They needed nap times.
I understand that they needed their break, but we needed to get through this door, so...
Hey, it is a union-mandated juice box and nap break.
I'm just saying.
Don't fight the will of the workers.
All right, shoutouts to the Sash here for being one of the accessories that is buffed rather significantly in this version of the game. In addition to its normal thing of, you got to get the license for it.
Yeah, I just double-checked a few things here.
Of giving you immunity to slow. It also now makes you resist fire damage, and more importantly for this run, gives you plus 30 to speed. And because speed is one of the factors in the damage equation for bows, your sight and grats deal more damage when you equip one.
I'm confident in my level, so I'm just gonna YOLO it. Because I'm probably gonna end up at like 23 for Sid, which isn't great, but you know I gotta find a way to bust some time down here.
Also, shoutouts to the Fawn Coast's music.
Oh,
it's
fabulous
my
music
in the game, along with the Salika Wood. Like, the Salika Wood is my actual favorite, but like Fawn Coast is right up there with it.
All right, licensing time. I have probably like 2 minutes. This is a fairly long setup here. All right, well, don't talk all at once, would you?
Well, I feel like at this point we've explained a lot of the run.
We have, because, I mean...
Because I've been going so slow.
At a certain point, there's not a lot to it. I mean, you just run and you shoot things with invisible bows and they die.
I'm also dealing with a cat that's trying to rip my shirt.
But yeah, we...
Second license board.
Yeah. Again, it's like as we said earlier with licensing, for anybody that missed it, what we're doing is we're going through the path of least resistance to get the skills, equipment, and armor, that kind of stuff, weapons, anything that we might need off of the boards as effectively as possible. We got to get certain things like we needed to get accessory 6 gives us golden amulet, which we need to get double license point, which we use to grind certain spots.
I need to grab this channeling at some point. Someone, don't let me forget to grab second channeling on Ash.
Okay, yeah.
Gotcha.
So having 2 license boards is, or 2 jobs specifically, is a thing that they added for TZA. In IZJS, you only have 1 job for each character, but you can have 2, and it really opens up a lot of interesting possibilities. So, like, you see that Bosch and Vaughn are both speccing into Shikari as their second one. And that's because Shikari just kind of dovetails really nicely with Ulan for what you want to do.
Yeah, and we get
heavy armor, which you get from Ulan. You want them to get like the way the health and all other things work out is
short
really
focus.
Good.
Okay, so
yeah, and the specific, like, you can jump around the board in a few specific ways. One of them gets you right next to the Sash's license, so that's also really nice.
Yep, that's what I gotta do. Yeah, Sash and Focus are super handy together.
Yeah. So the Focus license, what that does is it increases the damage you deal by 20% when you're at full hit points. And
I'm just gonna leave this set like it is for now.
Specific. But it's really nice.
What's really nice is my money. It's a shame I have way too much of it.
I was gonna say, don't you have a lot of money right now?
Yeah, I'm way over moneyed, to be honest, and Vaughn is a little Vaughn's a little under LP, but I'm gonna leave the golden amulet on him for a bit, and Ash will be fine. She'll just be short like 2 or 3 magic lures. I'm not really worried.
Yeah. So okay. Bosch is used because he has the highest strength in the game, basically, and strength is the most important stat for damage with the vast majority of weapons, including bows, even though speed matters as well. Strength does have a greater overall effect. It's just easier to get strength than it is speed, so any significant increase you get to your speed is going to be a very significant boost to bows and daggers and similar weapons. Meanwhile, Ash is used because I believe it's just the fact that she's next to B.O.S.S, because otherwise Penelo would be just about as good as a healer.
Ash also comes in at a higher level than Penelo. I think the way we run it, Ash comes in at 11 and Penelo is still 9.
I don't know why that would happen. Penelo should come in at a level based on bonds, but
maybe I'm wrong. I'm often wrong, as we found out.
But the bottom line is Ash also has more magic power and hit points than Penelo. Penelo just has more MP.
I should have bought Phoenix Downs too. I'll do that at the merchant in Old Arcades because he's right there. It'll be a quick menu.
And then for your other attacker, you'd want it to be either Balthier or Vaughn. And Balthier is just... Like, honestly, you could probably do that swap pretty easily and have Vaughn go Red Mage and Balthier go Ulan and such as well. Like, honestly, the fact that the beam bows are what they are is...
I still need one teleport stone,
that's
too.
That's the most important thing.
Because I'll be able to... Yeah, I still need one teleport stone. So one teleport stone, channeling for Ash, and... What else? This has just been an ugly run. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna actually leave a note for myself. Oops, come on.
So this boss is pretty awful in pretty much every other version of the run because you use Traveler, generally speaking, and you just hope they group up when you have the right step count and that you can hit all. And that's kind of what it is. Here, it's just like, oh hey, they're splitting up, and now you're just dealing super high amounts of damage to all of them, and they're gone.
Oh look, Ash is asleep again. Asleep in the chapel. Shoutouts to Thursday.
Hey.
Hey.
Ash has had a very hard day. She's very tired.
That is a deep cut for bands. I have not heard them mention it in a while.
Asleep in the Chapel by Thursday. Yeah, there you go. There's your obscure musical reference of the night. It's not an ugly run, it's a typical TZA run. Yeah, if you're at my skill level, which is like infantile at best. Alright, Vaughn is 22, which means B.O.S.S is probably 22, so we're about to be a little bit up. So I'm just gonna try and skip what I can. Gotta run risky here, gotta save time. I mean, to be fair, Jeff Rickley's voice is also very obscure. Imagine being able to front a successful band and have the voice of, like, basically someone being strangled while singing. Being completely tone deaf to your own music.
I have not followed really much of Eddie Ebo or Screamo for years.
It's Jeff Rickley, man. It's I don't even know where to go. The band is called Thursday. They're an American, I guess it would be kind of like hard pop emo alternative kind of e-band. The runners are also bad, like me. I'm terrible.
Yeah. And this is one of the worst bosses in most other runs.
Doom early, really? No one got Doom, though.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Haven't seen this in a while.
Of course, because, you know.
Why not? The run's already like 3 minutes behind anyway.
So, you just saw Phantasmal Gaze. That is an ability that can confuse your entire party like that, and when they have very powerful weapons that block attacks, it makes it really dumb.
This is a big yikes right now.
So there isn't much worse that, like, I was gonna say there isn't too much that can go wrong in this version of the run, but this is definitely one of those things.
Yeah, you just get really unlucky.
So bad to do. But Phantasmal Gaze
Oh, good. Throw a Doom in there, too. Why not? Doom Train, baby.
AoE, it confuses you. And,
whatever. We made it out. Don't care. It was just slow.
If I recall correctly, then Ahriman can... Like, I think it's at 58% HP or something like that, and below, he ignores your character's vitality stat, which is normally their big resistance to status effects like that.
Yeah, we just got unlucky. It is honestly what it is.
Yeah.
All right, I'm a level high. Let's get the heck out of here.
Say, I don't know why you're hesitating.
Why am I hesitating? With what? Oh, because there's traps everywhere, and traps.
I'm talking about just getting out of here because I'm like, because you're over leveled.
Also, the enemies that spawn there are two groups that can. There's headless type enemy, and then there's imp type enemy. The ones that spawn there, if you kill them all, then you get a rare game spawn. So that can be fun to try to spawn in the completionist runs.
Hi, Denny. Yeah, this run is just going so poorly. I have to stop and buy more Phoenix Downs here, too. I've never had to do this in a run. It's just awful. Just awful luck.
Yeah.
In before this, I was gonna say in before this guy doesn't sell any. There we go. That should hold me for the rest of the run. I'm just gonna have to be one level above because I can't really skip much of Draklore because of just they get in the way of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be one level above. I can try and save some time in Pharos. Would be one place I could do it, or maybe Feywood. Trying to move in this area at 4 times speed is like dancing on a cheese grater. It is painful, nobody likes it, but yet here we are. Definitely need to hit that because my party's basically dead. I still need to get channeling for Ash, 1 TP stone, and I would like to actually Bosch or Vaughn. They'll be fine, to be honest. Vaughn's just gonna have a bunch of extra LP, so he might actually be our main damage dealer.
Yeah, some of the rare game spawn conditions are pretty out there.
Yeah, wait 7 minutes in the Lusu mines, deep Lusu mines, and Gazer will spawn.
And that's not even a rare.
Yeah. Is it, or is it a hunt? No, Gazer's a rare spawn. Rare game.
That was a rare.
Gazer is not even a rare.
Alright, fine. Nagelmore. Spend 30 minutes in the Still Shrine of Miriam. And he'll spawn.
Mm-hmm. The timer starts after hitting the first pedestal.
Yeah.
So, or after that, just when you enter.
I don't know if it makes it obscure, but it just makes it bad. Plus all the RNG you can get in this also makes it pretty gutless. Balthier's annoyed face is my biggest mood ever. Constantly. I wish I could just cut that out and wear it as my own face for the most part. Alright, welcome to Nice and Fancy Arcades. This game does a great job about showing the socio-economic divide between the Empire and the lands of Ivalice.
Oh, hey, look, it's all nice now.
Oh, yeah, hey, look.
And Balthier just walks off and leaves. It's like, you know.
Well, as you can tell, he's dressed very elegantly.
Right?
Now, he has enough clothes to cover his stomach, unlike this
he can afford
never
a
do
full
well.
shirt, not a half shirt.
Yo, shirts are expensive in this land, okay? Look at Fran. She is obviously poor. She got like 3 tissues and some string. That's all she can afford to wear.
I don't think it's that Fran is poor. I think it's Fran is daring you to hit on her, so she has an excuse to kill you.
Her ears look really soft,
I can see
though.
that.
Also, Jules is a jerk. I hate Jules. Yeah, that's exactly why, Denny. I actually eat dirt and grass for the most part. That's all I can afford currently. We get to do chops. Chops are worth, what, 1 million gil?
So, yeah.
You can buy them.
fun fact, if you grind the money, which, you know, is very possible to do if you want to, it doesn't even let you pay.
Ironically,
Really?
you can buy them somewhere, though. And we actually do that.
In any of the shops. Yeah, so instead of doing all of the chops in Platinum, you actually buy a few. They're like...
Yeah, 200,000 a piece. I think we try and buy like 20-ish of them. Because one, that's what we can afford, and two, some of these chops, like clearing this zone of chops is rather quick, to be honest. It only takes like maybe a minute, if that, and you can pick up, I think it's what, 5 or 6 chops here, maybe 7. But some of the other ones are just so big, and it just takes so much time, and there's too many people. So it's just, you know, we can spend the time in the shop to do it, but you got to be really quick. Like if you take your time buying all the chops, you're, you know, losing time. It also, I do think it also helps go towards the there's a trophy of like spending 500,000 gil or something in the game.
I don't know, you're the one that runs Plat.
I just follow the route, all right, and I've made my adjustments to it. Plat percent or OOA? Because Plat percent's pretty easy, and I do deserve last place in that as opposed to second. I'll take my 3rd place run. If he's running OOA, that's fine, but I will say Zero's world record is very, very good. I don't think there was really any mistakes in that one.
Yeah, Zero has, like, I started the whole thing with Order of Ambrosia by doing most of the routing, and then Zero took over and has just pushed the category and Platinum as well to...
Yeah, everything is now manipulatable, basically.
It's very impressive compared to what it used to be. Like, there's a lot more RNG manipulation that removes a lot of the randomness,
including manipulating weather. Ugh, what an insane category. Alright. Keep trying to push. I gotta push as hard as I can because I'm losing time. I do have to keep somewhat of an eye on Ash's LP as well, so I need her to stay alive for this next fight.
Especially because things like, you gotta buy that other channeling.
Yeah, I have channeling. For her, I have Bubble Belt, channeling, and Mystic Armor 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Vaughn needs Focus, Sash, and the rest of his HP. He'll be fine, because he has the Golden Amulet on extra long here. We're going to visit Balthier's dad right now. His dad's not in. He can't come to the phone right now. So leave a message and he'll call you back.
Really?
I scream my phone calls. That is no doubt an obscure musical reference.
Oh my god.
Some of our younger listeners may not get that one.
No.
You're wounding me.
Dude, come on, spiderwebs, no doubt.
You're wounding! Wounding me!
There's also Jane's addiction in Pigs and Zen.
Ah, true.
Leave a message. I'll
Boomer.
call you back.
Boomer reference. Nah, dude, I'm just old as hell.
Now that
What
we're
up,
all
Zach?
admitting how old we are.
Yeah, I am old. When people ask me for ID, I just pull the dust out of my wallet. They're like, oh, all right, no worries, fam. I see you remember the Great Depression. I remember having to borrow my neighbor's teeth to dig my way to school uphill both ways.
Could you stop? I'm older than you.
We're
Making my
both
soul
older
hurt.
than you.
Huh?
We're
Yeah,
both older than
but
you.
is that true on a spiritual level?
Yes? You try to order me to bed and it's never worked for you.
I'm like everyone's dad, though, dude. Like, Kyo's dad is here. Call the fun police.
And that never works with me.
I should make an emote Kyostat. It's just like Kyo sweats, except
No,
I'm really just it's just like gray hair and like a hearing aid and a cane.
That would be a funny emote.
Of course this would go wrong. Oh, great. Look at all the water spouts. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so water spout is...
I got 3 water spouts in a row.
And because of the effect capacity being very much expanded, you can have a bunch of them happen at once, and those AoEs can wreck your...
That's a game over.
Yep.
Is what it is.
Welcome to Final Fantasy 12!
Yeah.
So that's the autosaves.
Yeah, that's just unlucky. All it is.
That is one thing about TZA, I think, over vanilla, is those autosaves allow you to pick up and go back.
Yeah, you can run super risky, but...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you run too risky, you are going to run into more and more of those type moments. But at least with that feature in this, it makes it, I think, in my opinion, more marathon safe because we do have autosaves throughout.
There's no question it's more marathon safe for having that.
I did not expect to get 5 water spouts at the same time to completely block the queue and, you know, take priority. So, is what it is.
Welcome to Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah, this is all the good luck I had yesterday is just clear out the window. Yeah, it's only gonna get worse.
Oh,
like
you had a good practice run. Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I used it all up, dude.
He finished teaching me parts of the run, and there went all the good luck.
Yep.
Because we all know if things go well in practice, the marathon run just goes terribly.
Yeah.
If things are terrible in practice, then you got a shot at a good run.
At this point, I may just carry my extra level and just push Sid. And we'll split Vaughn here. Vaughn's gonna go lowest. Alright, this should be fairly free.
Always
Hiding behind your toys. Pity if anything were to happen to them. Yo, Risukasa, thank you for subbing to RPG Limit Break. Fabulous channel to support, fabulous event to support. We do an in-person week-long marathon pretty much every May out in Salt Lake City, supporting Nami. Amazing charity. Amazing charity.
So those rooks greatly increase his defense. They don't quite make him immune to damage, but it's worth it to kill.
Alright. So, I could realistically get trolled left at Sid 2 or getting Entite spams. So, I'm going to count on both happening. Also, welcome to Balfenheim. Yeah, I mean, we'll be alright. This is Balfenheim. Everyone wears their underwear on the outside. It's a rather silly place. It's like Camelot. We try and avoid it as much as possible.
Except for you get a nice view there for a second on her.
Yeah. They are also a terrible fight in Trials mode. That was terrible to try and route. Like, I remember the initial stages of working on that, and it was like, no, can I just pretend this doesn't exist?
Yeah, it's like, the first time I did Trials mode, I went in there at level 90-something with 3 Seitengrats. I'm like, oh, this should actually be really easy with this setup, and I nearly died.
I'm having a moment.
What's up, fam?
Oh, yes.
I don't have the notes of what you're buying here.
I know what I'm doing. I just need to shift some cash around a little bit. Unfortunate incidences have occurred.
No, I manipulated them. 3 Seitengrats is easy if you can manipulate the RNG, which is...
Oh yeah, we could have pulled it there, but we only have 2 at the moment.
Yep. There we go. Now I have enough for the 1 teleport stone I need. Hey, remember how I said my money was good? Guess what's not great anymore? Actually, I forgot about this. I forgot about this chest. I'm just an idiot. That's fine. I'd rather slim down my inventory as well. There's a bunch of stuff I didn't need in it. I do need to buy 1 teleport stone from Dice, though. Because I have to go out, and I have to come back. I probably should have bought 2 for safety, but well, who cares at this point? Oh, I also needed the money. I also like knowing exactly how much money I have as well, because I need to buy a chocobo here. Anyway, we got to go to the Feywood. We have a couple of interesting boss fights, and I believe Rafflesia is the first introduction to field effects that this game has. This game is probably one of the most deeply programmed and ridiculously over-the-top PS2 games, and I'd be willing to like debate that for just how insanely detailed the programming is. For those of you that have played, did you know that bows are affected by weather? Yep, that's right. Bows are affected by weather conditions.
Yeah, and that's a factor in the Platinum run in TZA, because certain areas like, oh, your bows are just going to miss sometimes because wind.
Yep, or rain. They do less damage in rain, I think.
And there are different elemental effects based on the weather and things like that, and terrain effects as well, and those can stack. And then
Ultima has rotating field effects.
Yeah, honestly, the work that they put into this game, like, I will definitely constantly stand behind. Like, this game, I feel like was ahead of its time because of the fact that, like,
way ahead of its time. When you think
about this being a PS2 era game, and the amount of detail that goes into every little thing, it's like this was way ahead of its time.
It's I think casually PS2, it's like an 80-hour game if you have an idea of what you're doing. Like Fat Man did a very detailed all of the things and used a guide, and it still took him almost like 300 hours to get like one of every weapon and Order of Ambrosia.
The Gilgamesh fight is in other categories, not any percent.
Yeah. So you can see MP drain. That is a thing. It's more of a bad effect when it comes to magic routes, but there are some things you can do to kill it very fast, so it works out anyway. And you might notice that the numbers on the MP side of things are going up rather quickly. That is because this is an area that has an effect called Dense Mist. That means that all MP restoring effects, except for items like ethers and such, are tripled. So for running around, you get it back at 3 times the speed, because you do. If you kill an enemy and have the license that gives you, Headsman, the license that gives you MP for killing an enemy, then you get triple the MP back, and it makes certain areas in the late game very much more friendly. And actually, the first Dense Mist area you get to is Goliath's room. You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. Oh boy, of course it would take us this direction.
Yep.
Never fails. Anyone with the Talking Heads reference? All right, let's get through this. This has been embarrassing. This game has, of course, been exactly what I expected it to be, which is absolutely terrible and mean to me. I'm gonna have to call my lawyer after this. I'm gonna touch this because we've been smacked around a little bit. If you notice, I'm now very, very quickly dying, and my HP totals are terrible. I've been holding off licensing as long as I possibly can, and I'm going to do a big chunk of licensing here once I pick up the second sash. And then from here, we should be a little bit safer. I was looking for, level 28 at Tyrant. I think we'll be roughly in that area. As long as Darkra doesn't wipe us here. Good. I might be currently under-leveled, which would be interesting. Just assume that I am covered in tattoos, piercings, have rainbow hair, and a giant ho-ho on my chest. That is pretty much me. That's all I have.
That's pretty much you.
That's all I have. Yeah, I'm 25, so I'm definitely under-leveled now, which is fine. We can kind of take our time through here a little bit. Not like take our time, but I can kill things and not have to try and push. Which also makes us a lot safer. This area you can just get absolutely the you-know-what pushed out of you very quickly.
Well, because there's an enemy that can spawn in here that'll, if you cure, that's it.
Good old entites. All right, if you guys want to talk about the entite, I have a lot of menuing to do.
Okay, so the entites are the more powerful form of elementals. And elementals in this game do not like it when you cast magic. So if you cast magic,
if you don't cast magic, they pretty much leave you alone.
Mm-hmm. In fact, there are only, I think, 2 in the entire game that are default hostile to you. And those are, one of them is in the Pharos. So you may see that one.
Undyne?
Yep.
Right. Channeling and 8 is all I need for Ash, so 110. That should be good enough.
Okay. But in here, we do have the entite that can spawn. So we're kind of on the watch for them because we have to very carefully manage what Ash does if they appear.
This is ugly. Everything is wrong, but we'll be okay.
You have the meme bows, and that's what you need most.
Yeah, my MP or my LP isn't exactly where I want it, but we'll be okay. Yeah. We'll be fine because I have to kill a couple of extra things to kind of catch up here. So the MP will be there, or LP will be there. Everything in this area is 1 or 2, so it'll stack very quickly.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Also, these enemies here, the Marlboros, they're called Vivians in this area, and they have a gender, which is cool. The notes on the notes on the enemies, the bestiary, that's the word I'm looking for. In this game is super detailed and impressive. Like everything has like the enemy and its animation and like 2 or 3 pages of just information on it, which is really neat.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was neat is as you defeat more of them, you unlock more information about them. So
one thing
kind of pay off.
One thing we didn't mention is that he picked up a bubble belt, and that's why Ash is double HP right now. And otherwise, you see how much damage she's taking. She'd be dying constantly if she didn't have that up. And all the enemies here, like, when you get to this point in the game, they kind of give you a bit of a difficulty spike. Kind of like, hey, you really should train yourselves up a little bit and equip yourselves if you haven't.
Yeah, I just took an extra level there, to be honest, just for safety.
Yeah, and the Gargoyle Barons also can do things like stop you, which is a real pain.
Yeah, most of the enemies here can actually inflict status ailments on you, which makes this place real nasty. The Gargoyle Barons and the Vivians both can inflict like stop and sap and silence and slow, and it's a mess.
And in the case of the Behemoths, they can just do a lot of damage if they use the right abilities.
Yes, the capitalization in the bestiary also annoys me. It's in the TZA version and not in the PS2 version, one of the rare game is actually not capitalized, and it annoys me for some reason. Like, I just can't stop thinking about it some nights.
There's a lot of effort that went into the localization of this game and kind of making it fit with this kind of old-timey feel that they put into the game in a lot of ways. Like, even in the Japanese version.
Oh, are you kidding me? Idiot. Straight idiot move there. I guess he doesn't have a remedy. Well...
It's about to be fun.
Yep, we're just gonna have to live with that one, kids. There we go. I was gonna say it wears off fairly quickly. I wanted to do it on Vaughn. He has the highest damage and highest HP right now, so I want to make sure he's safe and draw aggro there. Ooh, that piercing Graviga would have wiped everyone except Vaughn. Or it would have wiped everyone except Bosch.
Yeah.
I say it would have been Bosch would have been left because Vaughn was low.
So Tyrant has a lot of offensive capability, and I believe it ignores your evasion as well.
By the way, that's what we call in the FF12 community calculated, which means I definitely pulled it out of my posterior. For those that get confused in the Great Crystal, I'm going to tell you it's actually really easy in the any % route. All you do is go down. Anytime you have the option to go down, just go down.
Down, down, down.
Hi, Wells. You're really handsome. Yeah, Denny, watch your dirty mouth. I've been a good boy, and I haven't said a single swear all night.
I've not been good, but I've been better.
At
least I'm being honest, right?
I am just improving my record to like almost 12 for 12, 13 for 13 now, I think. If anyone knows my actual stream, I have probably the most disgusting dirty mouth and humor on the absolute face of the planet. But for some reason, when it comes to like marathon runs or being a presentable human, I somehow can just pull it together. Wow, that was so nice. I was about to get my you-know-what shoved in, and the O.S. died before that animation finished. The attack that the O.S. was about to do, I can't remember what it's called, but it makes this... Yeah, Hellblaster is basically a lot of damage and all the status ailments at once.
Yeah, or at least a chance to do... Basically, the way the attack actually works is there's a chance to do damage, and there's a separate chance to do status ailments. It can do either, both, or neither.
Yeah. Which is not fun, and not fun at all. Basically, if you get that and you're playing the PS2 version, you're pretty much out of luck, and you just gotta pretty much leave your character for dead and hope you can make it through. I have come out of this area. There has been, I believe, one or two runners have lost runs here. I have made it to the save crystal with one character alive with 1 HP before. It is not a good feeling. It is probably one of the most clench moments ever. As of now, our party is officially set. I'm actually going to swap this back because I would like to have 14 evade just in case. But as you can see, now all of a sudden Ash has almost a maximum of over 300 MP. She's got, 2,000 plus HP. She looks like she fits in the party finally. Vaughn's pushing 3,000. So we're definitely now in a little bit safer zone for the run. There are still a few things that control us.
That's low for this part of the game normally, but in a speedrun sense, you're going to be a lot lower level.
In PS2, we now do it without Viking Coat, which means I believe Bosch's maximum MP or maximum HP possible is what, 2104. I think is like technically the highest he can get HP wise in that game, which is just stupid. Beating the game at level 28.
Yeah, the PS2 run is rather optimized at this point and does some very, very dangerous things.
I'm gonna continue with this solo berserk strat here, just for safety, but also we caught back up on LP very quickly, so I'm not too concerned. I don't have to pick up anything here. This is any %. Normally, I have to remind myself for plat %, there is one reverse mode here, and we need every single reverse mode we can find in the game for that run.
Reverse is a status effect that just makes healing hurt you and hurting heal you, and it is abused by necessity in a few places.
Yeah, shoutouts to Trials level 92.
If anyone ever wants a challenge, which I do not actually recommend you do, because
shoutouts to Death Gaze.
I gotta go back and actually try the trials.
was going to say, try beating Omega without reverse.
It's impossible. Like,
even at level 99. I think it's theoretically possible, I think.
You have to take it very, 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 very slow. We use a combination of decoy, berserk, and decoy and reverse. When you get it right and Omega doesn't berserk your main decoy, which is Bosch, it works incredibly well, and it's such a beautiful thing to watch. Also, we did miss one of my favorite cutscenes in the game there, where we exclaim that Vanna's a heretic, and it almost blows Ash off of wherever she, whatever magical pillar she's standing on. Can I get a time check? We're probably like 2:15 right now, 2:20, worst case scenario.
2:22.
Oof, rough. That's bad luck. Pharaoh should take maybe 25 minutes, worst case scenario though, so we're still okay. We're in good shape. We're all right. We'll be just under 3 hours. I don't think, I'll buy a couple of Phoenix Downs on the way out just in case things get really strange, but I think we should be okay. Where can you donate for the Yazmat incentive? I don't know. We're not really doing donation incentives for this, but I am funding my wedding. Hit me up in my DMs. I will show you the ultimate supreme Yazmat strategy, which only takes about 8.5, 9 minutes, and you can walk away from your controller while you do it. Yeah, we don't even do wither. We just expose and then outrange it, and then just ultra buff our strength and speed. It's a long setup though. It's about a 20-hour, or it's about an 8-hour setup to get to that point at least. Because you have to go to Deep Henna Mines and get two pairs of Herminos boots. You need to be like level in the mid-70s. You need to have bravery, and you need to have access to berserk. What do I got? 20. I still have 22. That's fine. We'll just go in with 31. This literally is just me being like a little pedantic and just covering my own butt. Hold on, I'll read your comment, Denny. I can do a near run after. I'm jazzed up enough, I can do it. Also, we met the cutest Moogle. His name is Nono. He's adorable. I do know, secretly, I do know the Nier speedrun as well as the Nier Automata speedrun. The first one is the surprise. I can run Nier Gestalt. It's just I have no reason to run it because it'll never be accepted into a marathon that I like due to the content and gore that it displays. It's not very suitable for most family-friendly marathons due to the inability of Kaine to speak like a normal human being during a marathon, and also the whole concept of her character. But shoutouts, that's a great game. I'm a huge Yoko Taro fan. I enjoy his ability to just tell very, very deep stories. Yeah, the other big thing, Balls, within the past couple of I'd say probably like the past like calendar year, is that Nier also underwent like a very decent reroute. Oh, thanks for the curse, dude. It's fine.
I know it's fine, it's just annoying.
Vaughn died. Fabulous. Yeah, but the thing is, Doom is popular, and I'm not even gonna go into it. I will put it this way: Doom is popular, and it generates a lot of viewership. Nier is very, very obscure, very, very obscure. It is a cult classic, no doubt. Like when I tell people, "Oh yeah, I speedrun The Legend of Dragoon," everyone says, "Yeah, I love that game, dude. That's awesome." But we all know that there's only 30 people on the face of the planet that love The Legend of Dragoon. But they just love it so passionately that it makes it seem like everyone loves it. Like, if I have to read another article about the potential of there being a Legend of Dragoon remake that I know is 100% never going to happen, I'm probably going to scream at somebody.
So, these black orbs that he's getting have different spawn mechanics than in the PS2 version. In the PS2 version, it was the first enemy you kill after entering a new zone, then every third enemy after that. Here, it's just every enemy in the zones where they drop.
Which is super nice. Legend of Dragoon sucks. Yeah, try speedrunning it and then tell me how you feel about it. Alright, so the reason we do that is I want to grab all 3 of these because there's a cluster of, like, generally there's a cluster of 3 enemies right there. Just kill them, get it over with. So you can just hit the, hit these orbs. Or, what do these hit? Pedestal? Yeah, it's altar.
Yeah, yeah. Pedestals, altars, whatever.
Yo, what's the donation incentive to do all of Subterra right now? Mapless.
I mean,
I'm very glad there were no donation incentives because we would be here all night.
I could
wouldn't
do it
care.
Mapless.
Yeah, I just have to worry about the magic pots. For those of you that don't know what magic pots are, just be glad you don't know what magic pots are. Thank us. Thank us later.
Magic pot clamors for an elixir. You hit it. Magic pot is shocked and dismayed, and then it kills you.
Yeah, it literally chases you everywhere, and it's terrible. Especially when you have to collect, like, what, 108 or like 92 black orbs or something like that for Abyssal. Oh, good, everybody's petrified. Well, I'll have to fix that quick. Yeah, the run's bad because cheese and the RNG, well, at least not regularly, but tonight's RNG factor has been pretty much awful. Thank you, Redis.
Redis actually did good?
Yeah, Redis does do good. He has, if you don't know, he actually has a lot of like curing gambits. I'm also gonna prep for something really strange here, and I didn't have to use it.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
So this boss, you probably saw it saying, "Reading perfect defense." That means it is immune to damage for a while, and that is not fun for reasons that should be very obvious. A lot of your survivability in this category is also tied to the fact that you kill things before they can kill you. And if you can't kill them, then they just stomp on your face. But with perfect defense, it can kill you, but you can't kill it. So while you're sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting for it to wear off, it's probably going to destroy you. But once you get past a certain HP threshold, it will just drop it by default. So as long as you deal enough damage to it quick enough to get it past the threshold where it uses it, you're good.
Another thing you can do, which is very, very strange for some reason, if I was to slow it down, if you have Redis cast a Rise on Pandemonium, for some reason, it tricks the game into automatically lowering perfect defense. I'm not sure how or why. It's probably something with like an aggro or hatred mechanic, but yeah, if you can get Redis to cast a Rise, it immediately drops perfect defense.
Yeah. Also, brain pans are
not brain pawns.
They're required to open up these bridges and
Nash bridges.
It's much bridges in Madison County. It's
I just go there.
Yeah.
Oh, my Betty White.
He is going to have a lot easier time than he would in other versions, just because the sight and grats are so strong. This is actually a rather tricky part of the run in pretty much every.
Yeah, we use an immobilize strat, which is super cool. Where because of the limitations of the PS2, and they are apparent in the PS4 as well, this game can only generate so many enemies on screen at once before it's like, okay, I can't do anymore. Like right there, there's supposed to be a brain pan up there, and it didn't spawn because there's too much going on the screen right now. So what we do is we immobilize a character normally at the entrance of the zone, and we run past everything and then despawn, and the brain pans are still guaranteed to be there. But it gets rid of all like these chimera brains and all the other icky things that we really don't want. It does not, however, despawn arrow knights, sadly.
Yeah. It's also worth mentioning that the other enemies here are the ones with red flames. You don't want to kill them because they can despawn the segments that the brain has spawned.
Those are Didars.
Yep. Dar.
They are, however, required if you want to get holy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got a rough spawn pattern here. I moved a little bit too quick. Now I'm paying for it.
Yeah. So the way the enemies spawn is if they respawn after a certain amount of time, right? I believe it's 2 minutes at full speed, and they spawn when you reach a certain distance away from them, and then despawn after you leave another distance, which is also why the immobilize trick works, because you're entering the area, then exiting it, then warping back, and you're already into it. So it spawns the enemy, despawns it, and then just doesn't respawn it because you're not entering that area where it spawned. You're already in it. But kind of going a little bit too fast in that section means that you might have to wait on the brain pans to spawn a little bit more. You might have to leave the area, then enter it again. And yes, it is allergy season. Believe me, I myself am very aware of that fact.
I've spent the past
all year long.
Yeah, I've been deep cleaning my apartment very, very heavily.
And I keep telling him to take some non-drowsy allergy medicine, and he just won't.
What do you think? I made a money or something?
I don't think it would help him with his sneeze percent, though, because let's be real.
Dude, I mean, how else am I going to blame losing 2 Nier Automata runs by falling off of cliffs if I can't blame it on sneezing?
Now, right? I know you don't have
Now I know y'all be loving this whatever right here. LIMP. Biscuit is right here. Thank you for the layup on that one.
I know you don't have this store that I have here, but I can go out and get 300 allergy pills, Zyrtec, for $40.
That's actually real good.
Alec, get out.
All right, never trust slit. Actually, that was a very nice slit.
That's one of the best ones I've seen.
Yeah, I've had him combo Redis to death twice in practice.
Yeah. It's definitely not a fight that you just
dinosaur.
assume you're gonna get.
This is also, I think, one of the biggest oversights in this entire game, Second Ascent.
Debatably an oversight. Like, they don't disable the on-screen minimap, which is a feature they added for TZA, which is really nice.
Very nice, because that's what I look at when I move.
I have the whole thing memorized because of my vanilla play, but...
Yeah, same here, but it's good to have it just in case. Like, I'm tired.
Yeah, for anyone else, it's like casually playing through this. I mean, we get rid of the minimap anyway because it's on the way. It is the most convenient one to get rid of.
Yeah, the other one is items, and the other one's magic, I think.
Items, magic, or attack. You can give up those abilities as well. Attack, obviously, you wouldn't want to do here, and it can be useful even in the speedrun, like if you get confused or something, but that's out of the way anyway, so you wouldn't give that up. Magic, you wouldn't give up in the other categories, and you wouldn't want to give it up here because that's your healing. But in there, it's your damage. And items can be very required. Like, say your damage dealers get dropped, you need to revive them.
Yeah, I don't run with Arise because it takes too long, in my opinion. The animation for Arise takes literally forever and a half. Or raise, either
Agreed.
or. Also, your MP is occasionally super tight, and you don't want to lose a run because your MP is locked. Right now, our MP is pretty good, thankfully.
I mean, we do get mana back by movement, but at the same time, we don't want to have to count on running around in a circle so that we can potentially get through a run.
Also, side note, Dragoon is now under 11 hours for any percent world record, just so y'all know. I got my sub 12, I'm good. Finally.
Finally.
Finally. Yeah, it's not good. Normally I can get through this without casting Spell Slinger, but it's just been one of those runs. There's another near route for Dragoon that apparently the optimal routing is now using Albert. Ash still needs channeling and no, did we get channeling for her? Yeah, we got channeling for her.
But you got it.
Yeah. That went pretty well. We got one whale off and that was it. It's almost time. Yeah. Just because it's a little bit more consistent, to be honest. And there's less reliance on items. Like, if you look at my PB, I struggled to bring enough items with me, and I had to do about 6,000 damage, or 7,000 damage with Hashel at Malibu Frama, and let me tell you, that is a sphincter slamming ordeal, man. It is not good. It is very uncomfortable, and I actually got party confused twice and was lucky enough to break out of it. It was a bit of a miracle at the end, to be fair. Alright, so this is pretty much the last troll point of the run. Well, not this point. We still have to find Hashmole, but whatever.
Also, I didn't see an Undinentite, so that's nice.
Yeah, thankfully. Hey, we avoided one terrible thing from happening in the run. Wowie. We get some wowies in chat.
So he got past...
get something.
Wowie.
He got past the 2 areas where it can spawn here.
Thanks, game. Wowie. Definitely not the FBI. Wait, are you my FBI agent? Hey man, like, I admit, I've been going through some stuff, but like, please don't report me. Like, we can work this out as homies, dog.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh. I
don't. No, well, you know what? Fine, I'm banning you. Then you can't see what I do. You're banned. Blocking you right now.
Banning?
It's a joke. WALL-E. Yeah, WALL-E is still, I think, by far probably the best Disney movie or Pixar movie of all time. It's very easy to make a movie where the dialogue explains the plot. It's very, very, very difficult to make a movie that has no dialogue and you still understand everything. I can't ban him, he quit. Oh, okay. Thanks for the clarification.
So in the PS2 version, we actually intentionally hit a petrified trap coming up here, and
oof, for damage reduction.
Yep, it's done because every tick that passes when you're petrified, there is a penalty to your damage and an increase and a penalty to damage done against you in addition to your A2B charging slower. But your tank there is...
no tower, no tower, no tower, no tower.
Okay, yeah, tower is a rear enemy that has a 20% chance to spawn here. Or is it 10? It's low.
10.
But...
It's 10, we didn't get it, thankfully.
Yeah.
I created copy pasta.
Well, this enemy can deal a lot of damage, and it can also, it also has, I believe, a 7% chance to inflict the disease status effect with its melee attacks.
I have one or two serums laying around just in case. Normally I get rid of them because it doesn't matter.
Disease is a status effect that means your current HP is also your maximum. And if you die, you get revived at 1 HP. Yep.
I wish we had float motes, because float motes make this fight free. Because his main attacks are all, like, earth-based, so you just hover over it. Oh no, Quakeja. Guess what? We're all floating. Roxor? Miss. All right, this is pretty much the last troll chance in the game, realistically. So
yeah,
we can get through it clean. This is pretty much the end of the run.
This next fight has 5 phases, essentially.
They all suck.
There is the Gabranth phase, which
is B.O.S.'s brother.
Yeah, just kind of a beginning part, which almost doesn't count. Then there's a phase where he's immune to magic. In the magic routes, we use Redis to kill him there. And then there's a fight with Cid, a fight with Cid and Fanfrit, at least normally, and then you finish Cid. So that's basically how it goes. Here, if he is lucky, he might even kill Cid before he becomes immune to damage in the Fanfrit section. So then, like, you actually can do so much damage so quickly that you skip that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my emergency license just to try and guarantee getting out of here quickly.
Yeah, he's doing Berserk and Bravery.
The menus in this game are actually very smooth. This is one of my favorite games to do menus in because it's very direct input. That and Xenosaga 3, both insanely good menus to play with. Yeah, my goal is to just make it through Fanfrit alive, to be honest. I want to get once I get Fanfrit down, the fight's pretty much over. Fanfrit or Cid, if I can get either one of them down quick, that's all I need.
So Berserk is the more powerful of the 2 status effects between Berserk and Bravery for dealing damage.
I did not
Bravery
get channeling.
Just gives you, okay, it just gives you Bravery just gives you a 20% damage increase.
I tried
for
reminding you.
Damage.
Yeah.
And
then you told me you got it.
I'm an idiot.
Berserk, on the other hand, means that all you can do is attack. You always have your weapon out, which actually makes you run a little bit slower, so that can be a factor in other areas and other categories. But it drastically increases the rate of your ATB charge, and it doubles the damage you deal physically. So stacking all these things on top of characters who are using Seitengrats is very powerful. Now, it's worth mentioning that the reason he does not have B.O.S.S in the party right now is because if he is in the party, there is a longer unskippable cutscene that plays right now. So that's
it's much longer. Not like minutes, but it's like, what, an additional 12 or 15 seconds?
It is significant, yes.
YOLO. I can't get it off because I don't have Hastka. Oh well, we'll be alright. It's gonna miss or not. Yeah, it damaged B.O.S.S a little bit. We'll be fine. We'll get Kiraja off. All right. Hopefully my strat works. I'm guarantee I'm gonna balls it up though.
I'm watching.
I think I got it. Got it. Literally, all you have to do is just pull Fanfrit into a corner. That's it. Because the biggest issue is they'll get hung up on Cid for some reason because he's like technically the closest. You just pull him back and Fanfrit moves and Cid will just stand there, generally because Redis is bugging him. And then it makes it a lot easier. That fight can go extremely poorly very quickly. Generally, Briny Cannonade never goes off at a good time, and someone takes about 1,000 to 1,200 damage, which sucks. And then it's followed up by a Quadja, which also has the ability to silence your party members, which generally happens to Ash, and then she can't heal. And by the time she decides to echo herb herself, someone's dead, and then you get stuck in this Phoenix down loop, and then Cid comes over and starts killing you, so it's like not good.
Cid has powerful attacks that he does every so often as well. So once you get to that point, it's like,
and he loves critting.
Fanfrit will do Aquaja every now and then. Cid's shooting you and has a 20% chance to crit or something like that, and then he every so often will do Gatling gun, and it's a mess.
How we looking time wise?
So. Right now, you are
246, 38.
246. Good. This is going to be sub 3. So it'll probably be like a 55 or a 56, maybe less. I'm proud. I went sub 3 with a terrible run.
I want to mention that right now, the PS2 run would have just defeated Tiamat a few minutes ago and would be farming jellies for experience
for the next
LP
like 20
and
minutes or so. What's ironic though is
yeah.
the PS2 run finishes, the highest character level is 28. I think we're going in at 32, maybe 33 here, which is actually lower than I did last night, I think. But whatever, we're in good hands. The next series of fights should pretty much go straightforward. Oh, I didn't even use Dispel this entire run. I realize that Dispel is handy, but it's really actually not worth it at this point for the most part. It's like rain on your wedding day. What up, Alanis Morissette? Hey, I'm gonna try Skate. Skate, I love you. You're beautiful. Hopefully I get to see you in a week.
Yeah, shout outs to Skate, who
got me into streaming and speedrunning this game. I literally can't think of a more despicable thing to do to a human being, and I still love him.
I mean, he got me into Twitch, speedrunning, streaming, and I'm about to pick up this game.
This is so much easier and a lot more freeform. Like, you can really, like, if you don't want to push for world record, you can still have a really comfy sub-3 run. Like, look at, I lost probably 4 or 5 free minutes in this, and, you know, it's still going to be sub-3.
It's true.
So yeah, these final fights, there's the...
And I'm going to do safety Gabranth, too.
Oh, you're leaving Bosch in?
Yeah, I normally do. Just in case things get weird. And I also take the time to try and get the Reflecta mode off, just in case things get weird. Because sometimes weird stuff happens.
Yeah. So Gabranth, after this little cutscene, has a scripted move where he uses Renew on himself, healing himself fully. But if you reflect him, then it'll be reflected back on the character nearest him. So that's useful.
Yeah, and, I do it just in case like I get weird misses or he gets Renew off quicker for some reason. But what I will do actually is this, which means I don't have to rebuff anybody, and those buffs last pretty much the rest of the... I've had them actually last into Undying. By the way, get ready for time. We'll be coming up in like probably a minute and a half or so.
Yeah, so...
These fights are really cool to watch, though.
Yeah, there's Vayne Novus, and the Undying. Vayne is going to be pretty standard. Vayne Novus has all these Sephiroth that run around, and oftentimes the characters will send an attack against them before they realize, oh, Vayne has higher HP, because just kind of the way the mechanics of the game work.
Yeah.
Also, you know, range and reserved.
There's also 6 flying enemies just blazing around, and then you have an ally helping you fight. Gabranth is helping you fight him. Lars is still hanging around, being a miserable idiot. Ooh, Mockwave got off. I did not get a lucky crit there. Double crit gets you to skip this. But it shouldn't do much damage to Ash. She'll be fine. First thing she's going to do is heal, and she'll get it off. Yep. Ooh. He got a 2-hit combo off on me, but this is fine. All she has to do is heal, and this run's over, pretty much. The tyranny of the gods is ended. So pretty much, Vayne's monologues are longer than the time you spend fighting in this series, by the way, which is hilarious. There we go, Inviolable Will, we'll never see that.
But hey, he loves his monologues.
There are 2 cutscene skips here. All right, get ready for time. Like, you have probably 15 seconds or less. It'll pretty much happen after Mega Flare. And oh no.
Uh-oh.
Time. Nah, he pulled away and they just stood there because they were still berserked. I skipped the cutscene, my bad.
GG. 51.
251, that's not bad. That's only like 13 minutes off my PB or something like that.
It's a very solid one.
Yeah, that was
that went wrong.
Are we singing? Do we have time to sing? Do we want to sing?
Let me check.
Do we have to sing? I'm not singing.
Yes.
I'm not
It's not
singing.
a PB. This is tradition. I even poured myself a fresh beverage, and it's time to sing already.
45. So Chaos Wars was originally scheduled for 35 on the hour.
Yep.
we had this like schedule thing, but I think we will stick to the original schedule. So you do have some time.
See, my love is all you need to see it through. Nah, no, these words are not quite true. I'm not gonna sing the whole thing. We'll wrap up the runabout.
Say, I'm not a Final Fantasy 12 runner yet. I haven't learned the song.
Is the past you're looking for an open door leading to worlds you long to explore? It is kind of a tradition with the Final Fantasy 12 community. If you PB, you do have to sing. It is very, very important. Shout outs to a longtime lurker and supporter of speedrunners everywhere, a wonderful individual named Cough Champ, who actually keeps a singing leaderboard where he will rate and give notes on all of your singing. There are bonus points for in a different language. It's fabulous.
Excuse you told me when I ran Final Fantasy 15 I had to sing as well.
Yeah, I made that a rule. Everyone has to sing.
You called, my lord.
But we didn't really get to cover the story of this game, and you know what? I don't get upset about it, because you could probably talk about the story of this game for longer than this run is. This is a very, very in-depth story. I recommend it casually, especially the TZA version. You don't want to spend 4 minutes running around or an hour grinding? Good. Turn turbo on, have fun, show me how much Gambit's, play the game by itself. Yes, there is a very good story in this game.
Not only is there the overarching story that you run into, but if you actually take the time to pay attention to a lot of the details, you're going to get some really interesting individual stories.
Yeah, a lot of cool items too. Every NPC has a story.
Yeah, and it's the way that they've gone through crafting the story and weaving them together, as well as making each one highlight in specific moments to be very important in very specific moments. It's so beautifully done. Like, I can't stop. I can't say that this game is a bad game. It's a bad speedrun.
Specifically, this category is a bad speedrun.
This category.
Yeah, I love when my mic mute button doesn't work. It's great. Thanks. Thanks, Blue. But yeah, this is, I decided when I wanted to start speedrunning, like, I work about 60 hours a week, if not more. I'm about to get married in May. I don't have a lot of time to stream. I don't sleep a lot, but I wanted to really challenge myself. I wanted to not only be a speedrunner, but I wanted to speedrun very challenging games, long games, while not having the time commitment that a lot of people have. And I think this is a great happy medium for some people. Like, when I say long run, a long run for me is like 9 or 10 hours plus. This is a 3-hour run, even if you do as terribly as I did. Like, that was probably one of the worst runs I've ever put out on a marathon.
And it's worth saying that don't need to mod your PS4 to have an SSD or anything like that.
Yeah. This is actually running on an external hard drive right now because I have a solid state in there. PS4 Pro, I think, saves not even a minute, and solid state saves maybe 20 seconds, if that. I'd be surprised if it's anything more than that for either of them.
There's definitely other games where it makes a bigger difference, but not for this one.
Yep.
So the desire to even get into it is going to put you pretty much on par with everybody else.
Yep. Don't forget, PS5's probably coming out next year. PS4 is going to be cheap, and PS5s are supposed to be PS4 compatible as well. Backwards compatible.
Supposedly. I'm going to wait and see.
Yeah, shoutouts to Ivalice. I think the Ivalice universe probably has some of the most interesting games. So it's Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Vagrant Story are all set in the same universe of Ivalice, and they are by far the almost black sheep of the Final Fantasy games. They're cult classics, and Vagrant Story is not even a Final Fantasy game, but they are super fabulous. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions, Go ahead.
So technically there's a game called Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, that one goes in the garbage.
Post Discord?
What?
Post Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you have any questions, hit me up, hit Alec up, hit any FF12 runners. Blue Harvey's in chat. Skate for a Living's in chat. He hasn't run it in a while, but he's still a repository of knowledge. Nitrodon, who was commentating was it Fire Emblem run earlier today? One of the OG runners with Alec as well. Yeah, I was gonna say, let me see. Does anyone have the 12 link handy? If not, I have it.
I'm getting it. If you already have it, go ahead and post it.
Hopefully, let's see.
I'm also
there it is.
I'm also happy to help because I definitely learned a lot just volunteering to help Gius with this run. I can also connect you with somebody else for your question as well.
This is what I would call a very easy run to learn, because basically all you're learning is where to go, what you're licensing, and how to manipulate RNG. You could honestly learn this run in a 12-hour challenge and probably get like a 3:30. As long as you just take your time and you're confident in what you're doing. You have a big on-screen map. You can check where you're going. It's a beautiful game. Just give it a shot. If you own it or you never finished it on the PS2, grab this one. It's generally you can find the PS2 copies used for like $20. This is a great time sink. You'll get sucked into just how beautiful it is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll say when I first did the PS2 version with no guide, looking up nothing, and just trying to play through it for the story and letting the game kind of take the reins of what I did and where I went, it still took me about 90 hours. So you're gonna put in, just playing through casually, you're gonna put in a lot of time, and it's a fantastic game. This is a shit run.
Yeah, this runs super easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Don't insult hot garbage. Thanks, Wells. Yeah. So let me double check the schedule as well. I know we are a little bit ahead. Coming up, we have Chaos Wars Part 1 with a really good buddy of mine, a guy named Close to War, aka Vinny. He's a very quiet man, a very shy man, but probably one of, I'll catch flack for this, but probably one of the best speedrunners of all time. So, I guess, George, if you're ready, if you want to take over, you guys can just get it going, because I know he's probably itching to run. Yeah, Close to War is Close to War is a god, and I am but a monkey.
I bet it.
Yeah, I guess I'll sign off. I'm Kyoslilmonster.
I'm Malakina.
I'm LK47.
And thanks for having us. Have a terrific night, everybody. Feel free to stay by and watch Chaos Wars. It's a blast.